Hello, magical creatures. Hi, welcome to my reading. I'm Unionicorn. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome to my channel. And if you're returning, hi, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you returning to the channel. Today we have a fun reading. This is going to be love messages from the unicorns. It's a bit of a series I've been doing on my channel. So if you haven't seen my other readings, I also did love messages from the fairies as well as love messages from the mermaids. So yeah, having a fun time just trying to, get some magical creature vibes in this reading and channeling the, all the magical creatures. So yeah, today's reading, we're asking the unicorns to just bring forth any messages from the universe that want to come through for you at this time. And just as a reminder, of course, all my readings are timeless. So whenever you happen to come upon them, whenever you feel drawn to watch them, that is when those messages are meant to reach you at that time. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, so without further ado, let's look at the piles. Well, first we don't have piles because I like to shuffle on screen. Like I do like a bit of a speed shuffle, which just means I speed up the footage. But yeah, if you like to pick by the object, today we have these cute little pewter unicorns. And so the first unicorn is a bit of like, they've got their hoof up, so it's a bit of like a prancing unicorn, I'd say. So that's for pile number 1. Oops, yeah, let's show you on the other way too. There you go. Pile number 1, that's your unicorn. Pile number 2 is this cute little sitting unicorn. They're like kind of laying, maybe they're sleeping. But they look like, I imagine they're laying in some beautiful flower field somewhere. That's for you, pile number 2, the laying unicorn. And for pile number 3, you just have this pretty little standing unicorn. So an unassuming unicorn, but yeah, little standing unicorn for pile number 3. So yeah, if you'd like to pick by the objects, you can go ahead and click on your reading timestamp. I like to put them always in the description below, or as well as pinned in the comments. Hopefully, if I remember, I try to remember to pin them in the comments. But yeah, so again, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, you can go ahead and find your pile using the timestamps, or if you'd like, you can stick around, watch the shuffle portion. I like to usually go over the decks that I like to use, because I change my decks based on the reading. So I tend to like to show which cards and decks I'm using today for this reading. And then if you want, you can watch the speed shuffle, but you don't have to. You can always skip ahead to where it's just the piles if you prefer to pick by the cards actually shuffled out, if you feel more drawn to a certain pile based on the cards that I've shuffled. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in your reading. Okay, bye. Hello, magical creatures. Hi, welcome back to the shuffle portion of the video. Well, technically this is the card overview section, and then the shuffle section, I just like to speed it up because I never know what to say when I'm shuffling my cards. It tends to take me forever to shuffle, but that's just because I tend to like to use like a bunch of different decks and get like 1 or 2 cards. I really love to do it that way because I find that you can get more synchronicities that way if like the same cards keep coming out from different decks. So that's just why I prefer to do it that way. Of course, there's no right or wrong way to really read tarot, especially since I like to read intuitively. Other readers, do it their own special way, right? A lot of readers I know are really great at reading with just using 1 deck. So it really just depends on the reader, their preference, their way that they channel. But yeah, for me, I love to use a bunch of different decks. So the decks I have for you today for this unicorn themed reading, I'm gonna start with the advice from a unicorn. Very apt. This is actually not even a deck. It's a 2020 calendar. I actually got this, like I came across this in the shops right as I was thinking about starting my YouTube channel, and I had already picked out my name, Unionicorn. So I thought that was so perfect and kismet, and like a sign from the universe that this is what I was meant to be doing, is these readings. So yeah, even though it's from 2020, there's still a lot of good like advice from the unicorns, aka there's like, you know, there's just like little sayings and things for each day. So the date's not as important, although it could just be like a synchronicity for you. It could be like a little added, you know, bonus like message for you individually if like, you know, the date like happens to be, you know, an important birthday or something for you. So yeah, but that's what we're going to start off with, is advice from the unicorns. Then we also have the Celestial Unicorn Tarot. Now this is a new deck for me. I only used it one other time, and if you are interested in that, I believe I used this one in the Fire Horse reading. I'm not actually sure, either that or the lucky reading. I can't remember, because yeah, I originally got this I think for the lucky reading, and then it didn't come in time, and then I used it in the Fire Horse reading. I'm not sure, but anyway, this is the Celestial Unicorn Tarot deck. It's very beautiful. I love the cards in this deck. Like, there's just a preview of some of them. They're so pretty, and so really excited to use this again. Then we also have some oracles. We have the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. This one's another one of my favorites. So many cute cards in this deck. So yeah, we've got that one, as well as, since this is going to be a love reading again, I just have been really into doing love readings lately. I don't know. We also have, of course, the classic Romance Angels. I almost never do a reading now without these cards. I just love them so much. So the Romance Angels, classic romance cards. Then we also have the Sacred Self-Care Oracle, another one of my absolute faves. Can't recommend this one enough, especially since this is the kind of deck that you can see some of the cards there. This is one of my absolute favorite decks for like if you are like feeling stuck and you want to know like what action you can take right away. These are great cards for, you know, trying to get out of your own head a little bit, because I don't know if you can tell, I tend to have very long readings because I'm always like, you know, I'm very much what would you consider like an overthinker, and you know, I'm always talking way too much, and that's why my videos are so long. But yeah, so this is a great one for if you're like me and you're always like feeling like stuck in your own head a little bit and like overthinking. This one's great for taking actual action on something. So that's a good deck to use today. Then we also have, of course, the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, one of my absolute favorite decks. The artwork in this is so pretty. Yeah, you can see some of those cards back there, but yeah, such a beautiful deck, this one. So of course had to include it in the unicorn reading. Then we also have this Tarot at the End of the Rainbow, another one of my new decks. I got this specifically for the lucky reading because, you know, it's very fitting. We've got the leprechaun here. And then we also have the fairy. So I thought that was very pretty. So we're gonna get a couple tarot from that. And then we of course have the Oracle of the Unicorns. Naturally, in a unicorn reading, we should have Oracle of the Unicorn. And last but not least, when it comes to the tarot, we also have this beautiful Last Unicorn Tarot. Now this is not the nice big collector deck. This is like a smaller print, but yeah, I love this movie. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. Again, obviously I'm biased because my name is, I call myself Unionicorn. So obviously I love unicorns, but yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's just so beautifully animated. The story is interesting. I don't really want to like go over the whole synopsis of the movie, but highly recommend, if you have not seen this movie, The Last Unicorn, highly recommend it. It's just a beautiful classic film. So yeah, the animation alone, regardless of whatever the story, you know, you can, I feel like this story has a lot to teach us, but it's a lot to get into right now, so I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, it's such a beautiful film. Just the animation and the music alone, totally worth a watch. So The Last Unicorn Tarot, definitely going to use this. And then as far as some more oracles, we might get some more specific love messages. So we're going to use the Love Me Not Oracle deck, as well as the Hidden Truth Oracle and Roses in Love Oracle. So I really like these oracle decks because they have like very specific messages from your person, in the person that you have in mind for the reading. So that's very awesome. Now we also have the Rebel deck. This is also my last deck with a little unicorn on it. However, this one does cuss, so just heads up on that. So yeah, it says 0 filters, 0 fucks. So yeah, just in case you're sensitive to cussing, just know that this is going to have some cuss words in it, but it's a very no-nonsense deck. Then last but certainly not least, as far as the cards go, I also am going to pull a couple of the crystal healing guide cards, just in case you want to know what crystals are good for you at this time. And last but certainly not least, I know I keep saying last, but this is actually, these are playing cards. These aren't even actual like tarot cards, but I tell you, when I saw these Bella Sara cards, I was like, oh my God, these would be so perfect for readings. So I have some Bella Sara Moon Fairies cards, and let me show you. They're actually, like I said, they're like, you know, it's a TCG game, right? Tabletop game. So they come in these like little blister packs, right? So we're gonna get at least one pack and see what comes out in these for you today. So yeah, without further ado, thank you for sticking around. Just like, I know this is like way too long. I try to keep this to like no more than 5 minutes. Obviously I've been chatting too much. But yeah, thank you for being here and looking at all the decks, and let me know if you like this portion of the video. If not, I might have to figure out a way to cut this time out, because yeah, I've been speaking too much. But anyway, thanks for being here. And without further ado, I'm going to do the sped up shuffle portion of the video. So get yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, and enjoy the relaxing shuffles. Okay, bye. Hello, beautiful magical creatures. Welcome to the pick a pile part of this video. Now, if you prefer to choose with all of the cards shuffled, we have lots of cards for you today. It's a very thick stack of cards, but yeah, if you prefer to choose with the cards, we have the cards here for you. And as a reminder, pile number 1, you have this cute little prancing unicorn. It's kind of like dancing, prancing. Very cute little unicorn here for pile number 1. And you also have this Bella Sara card, so you can get a closer look at that. We'll open these. I have no idea what's inside these. They're just like fun little oracle type cards for you, pile number 1. The white butterfly unicorn. Then for pile number 2, you have the little pink butterfly. Wait, sorry, you don't have the butterfly wings, but a cute little pink. I say unicorn, but they're actually just horses, but they're very cute. See, the deck is called Moon Fairies, so that's why I thought, for some reason I thought this one also had fairy wings, so it doesn't. But yeah, this is pile number 2 with the little pink horse cards, as well as your cute little unicorn. As a reminder, is laying down, I like to think, in a beautiful field of flowers for you, pile number 2. And then for pile number 3, finally, you have a little, like, kind of almost under the water seahorse type fairy for your card deck, your mystery cards there. And then you have this cute little standing unicorn for pile number 3. So yeah, go ahead and choose pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. As always, the timestamps are linked in the description and as well as pinned in the comments below. And I'll see you in your piles. Thanks for being here. I'm excited to read for you today. See you in your reading. Bye. Hello, pile number 1. If you picked this beautiful little prancing unicorn, it's very cute. It looks like it's prancing or dancing. It's got its little hoof up. This is going to be your reading. And today we are asking the unicorns about your love life, basically. So kind of just leave it open-ended for you today, because yeah, I just want to sort of see whatever comes through in the reading. Now, if you're interested in these sorts of fun magical creature type readings, I did also do a love messages from the fairies as well as love messages from the mermaids. So I'm just having fun, you know, calling on the magical creatures, yeah, in order to do these themed love readings for you. So if you're interested in that, definitely go check that out on my channel. I'm doing, you know, a bit of a little series here on this channel. But yeah, today we're asking the unicorns what messages about your love life are going to come through. Now, we have these cute little Bella Sara cards. These are actually not even actual, you know, tarot or oracle cards, but they are actually kind of work really perfectly as oracle cards because they've got fun little messages in these. We'll open these at the very end of your reading today, pile 1. But yeah, let's start with, these are actually, again, not actually cards, so to speak, but they are little messages from advice from the unicorns. This came from a 2020 calendar, right as I was thinking about starting my YouTube channel way back in 2020, early January. So yeah, that's what these are from. So don't pay too much close attention to the dates, but let's just see what the unicorns have to say here. It says, become resilient AF. All right, and then it does have May 4th. That could be significant for you, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah, so the first message out is become resilient, and it says, this next one says, 'tis the season for pumpkin spice, apple picking, and cozy sweaters. Revel in it, babe. All right, so for some of you, you might actually be, I've recorded this. Oh, will it focus? Please focus. Yeah, but I'm recording this actually in like the end of May. I don't know why it's not wanting to focus, but yeah, I've been recording this in that like end of May, but this says September 2nd. So maybe that's like the date you're watching this, or yeah, maybe you just really love fall, cozy sweater weather. You know, who doesn't love some nice pumpkin spice latte? Everyone is always like, oh, that's so basic. But I'm like, I love pumpkin spice lattes. There's nothing wrong with liking things. Let people enjoy things, you know? That's how I feel about it. But okay, cool. So yeah, maybe you or your person just love the fall season. That could be a clue for you. All right, now let's see. Pile number one. I always say this in every one of my readings, but pile number one is the eldest daughter, aka I'm the eldest daughter, so I can say that. But yeah, the first child, the experiment child. So, you know, forgive me if I don't quite know how to lay out my cards yet, because I'm learning how to, you know, lay out all of these amazing cards. We have so many cards for you today. So let's see, what did you get? Okay, you got the storm card. Interesting. Number 44, it says every hurricane comes to an end. All right, so there's something happening here where, yeah, I'm definitely getting a strong message already because of this become resilient card. In fact, I might cover this up here, put this underneath the resilient, because it really does feel like it wants to go together. This storm card, so pile one, you've been recently through something that's been like kind of a difficult time period in your life, like a trial or tribulation. But the universe and the unicorns want you to know that you're coming out of this tough phase in your life, and you're going to be, you know, you've weathered this storm. You're going to see the, you know, sort of rainbow at the end of the rain, right? After rain comes a rainbow is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, you get to see the fruits of your labor for some of you too. This might have something to do with your work, or something to do with this relationship that you're thinking, whoever you have on your mind right now. But there's been a tough period of time that you're coming out of. And so now you're going to see, well, we'll see what else wants to come out. But yeah, interesting. Okay, very good. Pile one. So let's see what else you have. Okay, so you have heart-to-heart conversation, right? Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Okay, so this person you're asking about, you might even be like someone who you've been through many seasons with them, because this is very like, you know, this message was all about seasonal. So like this might be just like you're entering a new season with this person, or you're someone who's been maybe in a long-term relationship with this person. And what I'm really getting about, I have like 5,000 thoughts at once, so give me a second. Sorry, pile one. Let me gather my thoughts here. Basically, what I'm getting from these two cards, especially together, all of these cards, or, you know, messages together so far, is that I'm almost getting like this person might be even someone that you've like been in either a fight with or no contact with, or if not those things, for some of you, you might even have honestly been through therapy with this person. Like it's just giving like someone you've been together with for a long time. So it's like, I don't think this is a new person. So if you're thinking of a new person, maybe this isn't your reading, because I'm heavily picking up that this is someone you've known for a very long time, hence the seasons like coming out. And yeah, so this is someone that you've been trying to have more like open communication with, open, honest communication. It says discuss your feelings with each other honestly. So yeah, like again, that's very much giving therapy in my mind, like couples therapy maybe for some of you. So yeah, hopefully that resonates for you. If not, maybe pick a different pile, because yeah, I'm definitely just getting someone who, and again, if you haven't been in therapy with this person, maybe you need to, or you want to like open that, you know, dialogue up again for those of you who are maybe in more of a no contact or like a separation period with your person. That could also apply. So yeah, take it how it resonates. Of course, this is always, all my readings are very general readings. So just take what applies for you, you know, take what fits, leave the rest. So you do have energy work coming out. Yeah, again, like very much giving like realigning yourself. These are the chakras. So you're trying to become more in alignment with either yourself and or this other person that you have on your mind, which again, I feel like is based on like, you know, having more open communication with this person, especially if you're like in therapy with them, something like that along those lines. So interesting. All right, now I'm gonna take this one. Now, sorry, fair warning, I meant to warn earlier, but yeah, this does have cussing. This deck is called the Rebel deck. So it always has some kind of cuss word in it, but it says, stop fucking whining. Yeah, so again, there's something here about like y'all had like a fight or an argument where like you didn't see eye to eye, either in therapy or outside of therapy, just having like some kind of argument. And one of you, and I'll be honest, the universe is a bit calling you out, pile one. You know, they're saying it was one of you were kind of being unreasonable here, kind of whining, kind of trying to get what you want in a situation. So I think this card is just saying, you know, reevaluate what this was about, whatever this argument, whatever this fight was about, because, you know, I feel like you might need to see it from a different perspective here with this energy work too. Like you might, I'm going to be so for real with you and don't shoot the messenger, pile one, but you know, this card might be saying you might have been possibly in the wrong here, or at least there's room for you to like see it from the other person's perspective. Okay, pile one. Now it says, no one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world, so do it. Okay, yeah. So they're saying don't, like, I'm getting the sense that it's like, be grateful for but what you do have. If I'm getting the sense like, yeah, it was talking about complaining. So there was something where you're complaining, and honestly, the universe is kind of calling you out on this, pile one. They're like saying that like maybe you were being too unreasonable here in this situation. So just try to reconsider, try to think about it from the other person's perspective, you know, talk it out, maybe even with like friends and family to get their perspective on it. You know, I'm kidding, like, or go to r/am I the asshole, right? like that subreddit where it's just like, you know, maybe you could even find like for a silly example, maybe it's about like you and this person, because you've been you've been in a long-term relationship with this person perhaps, and you two are living with each other and just trying to cohabitate, and like there was like some like kind of almost, what I'm getting is like a bit of a petty argument probably about like, you know, someone not doing the dishes right or something. Like I'm definitely getting like this sense of like a couple arguing about not loading the dishwasher right. And they're like, no, you did it wrong, you have to do it this way. And again, that's just one silly example, so take it only if it applies for you. But it's something like that where it's like, in the grand scheme of things, this argument was just kind of silly, and it was really because you or your person were like just in a bad mood and you weren't like aligned. Yeah, the alignment. You weren't emotionally regulated. That's the word. And again, y'all, I'm saying this from my own personal, like a place of like, I can relate so much because me and my partner have been in couples therapy for a while now, and we're learning just about so much of what is coming out in this reading. It's just so interesting because like, so don't sit here thinking that I'm like, you know, judging anybody here, because, you know, especially if you've been with someone for such a long time, like you tend to like get maybe even in a way too comfortable with the person to where, you know, they're like things that you used to think was cute, you know, like the way they chew their food or something, right? Like little things, like for example, maybe they snore while they sleep, right? Little things that you used to maybe find cute, you know, have a way to like start getting kind of annoying, right? Or like getting on your nerves. So like before you thought the way they chew their food was cute, but now it's like, oh, it's so grating to hear the way you do, you know, like just some silly examples like that where it's like, again, it's really not that big of a deal, the universe is just asking you to be more humble about it and really remember to take a step back and look at it from the bigger picture and be like, this is, in the grand scheme of things, not that big of a deal. It's just about, you know, the growing pains almost of being with someone for such a long time. So again, if this is someone who you haven't, like, especially if you've just met this person on your mind, definitely go try to pick a different pile, because I'm definitely strongly sensing for you, pile 1, this is more, you're asking about someone who you've been in a long-term relationship with, or someone that, you know, you're on again, off again almost, like you have, like, I think both of you maybe have some fire in your chart, because you're both very fiery. Like, kind of, sometimes you can be more combative toward each other than, like, maybe you quote unquote should, just because, yeah, you're like squabbling about little things that maybe in the grand scheme of things aren't that big of a deal, right? I hope this is making sense. I hope this is resonating for someone out there. But yeah, let's see, what other cards do we have today? Again, I'm just looking at how I want to lay these cards out on the table, because I never give myself enough room. Let's see. Okay, so you have the Unicorn Oracle. It says miracles. Oh, okay, so it's like, I believe in miracles. Hopefully that focuses up, because it's like really hard to read this. It's so faint, but it says, have faith that your miracle is on its way. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender to the now. I think that's, oh, surrender the how. Okay, sorry. Surrender how you're going to get this miracle. Right. So again, this is just saying that you and this person might have been almost on the brink of like giving up or like throwing in the towel. And the universe is saying, don't give up on this relationship just yet. Like, you still have more to like teach each other and learn from each other. But yeah. Okay, expansion. Perfect. Here we go. To expand on what I was just about to say, that yeah, you have more to learn with this person. So it says, spread your wings and soar, share your message and shine your light, show the world what you're made of. Okay, yeah. So this is a bit more about, like, you know, putting yourself out there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you are also someone who makes content online. This is a bit of a side tangent, not so much related to everything else I've been saying, but yeah, like maybe, I don't know, I'm just getting like this has something to do with like, maybe go expand your perspective, right? Like I said, talk to other people about what you're going through. If you feel like you can find some trusted individuals, right? Obviously don't just tell strangers, but like if you have like friends or family who can help you change your perspective on this. And yeah, this is just reminding you that you are, you know, a loving, shining light, and to tap back into that, align with that, you know, energy again. Yeah. And then last of these, you have delight. Okay, it says, count your blessings and enjoy life. Yeah, count your blessings, especially in this relationship. Like, again, remember to look at it from the big picture and not so much like you're like zoomed into this little problem, and really at the end of the day, it's like, it's not a deal breaker, right? It's like, it's just like a little annoyance. So remember to appreciate what you do have and count your blessings and enjoy life. Take pleasure in simple things, and always expect the best. Yeah. If you align with the best outcome for all, if you believe that the universe has your back and is going to give you the best outcome here, then that's what you're gonna get. You know, you get what you give, right? So you're going to be, if you allow yourself to align with the highest good for all, including for you and this other person, then it's all going to kind of work out, okay? You just have to trust. Trust is basically the message here. Okay, ooh, so you have 10. I'm going to have to look at what this card, this is a new deck for me, so I'm still learning this one. Let me see. I'll come back to that one, but you have the card 10. I think that's the Hierophant, right? Let's see. You also have Judgment. Okay, right. Okay, so this is, again, this isn't exactly how this card is meant to be, like, interpreted necessarily, but I am a reader who is very much an intuitive reader. So usually the Judgment card is talking about like the divine, you know, giving you divine justice, that kind of thing. But in this case, I'm definitely getting like the sense that maybe this is just again a reminder to be like, there was some situation where maybe you were being too harsh on this other person, or being a bit, you know, let's be honest, a little bit judgmental, not as forgiving or as understanding as you could be in this situation. So yeah, that's just, again, a reminder to maybe not be so judgmental toward this person. You know, maybe they're trying their best, maybe they can't do everything that you expect of them at this time, but that doesn't mean they don't love you or want things to work out between you, right? Okay, then you have 10 of Pentacles. Yes, exactly. Okay, so like this is what you want. Like 10 of Pentacles is the happy family life card, like the super like abundance card. Like you've got like mommy and daddy and babies. How cute. So yeah, maybe you even have some little foals of your own. I don't know. But yeah, like you have, you know, this happy little abundant life. So don't lose sight of that, pile 1. 10 of Pentacles, all things considered, you know, keep focused on, you know, the positives. Don't forget to be appreciative of this person for what they do for you, what they are able to do, and, you know, contribute to this relationship. However they show up for you in this relationship, don't forget to be appreciative of that, right? There's this phrase, there's a saying that always gets me, which is that like more people who are dead than alive receive flowers, and it's because they said that regret is stronger than appreciation. So it's really tragic, right? Like more people receive flowers in death than they do in life, because people end up taking them for granted. They don't appreciate them while they have them in their life, right? So just remember to always love and appreciate and show that love, because like love isn't just a feeling, right? It is an action. Love is an action. Love is a choice. We choose every day to show our love and appreciation for those, you know, other beautiful souls in our lives, that if we love and appreciate them, it's important to show that. It's important to take action and not just feel it for ourselves, but actually communicate that to the other person, right? All right, and then last but not least, you have the Wheel of Fate. Oh, beautiful. So yeah, you have the Wheel of Fortune here. Yeah, so like I said, this is going to, whatever this situation is coming to a close. You can weather this storm. It's wrapping up. So the Wheel of Fortune is like turning in your favor, right? You're headed toward greener pastures, right? Like this 10 of Pentacles and this beautiful green field. Like, yeah, you are going to, I think, make amends here. Yeah, that's the word. You're going to make amends with this person. So like you might have been fighting for a while, but I think at the end of the day, I think you'll see, you know, you'll be able to like forgive and forget, right? Then we also have Ace of Pentacles, beautiful, very, again, abundant energy, especially with the 10 of Pentacles as well. Yeah, you're going to come more into alignment with this person and focus on the positives of your life. 10 of Wands, yeah, laying down the load. Yeah, laying down whatever this was. I think you're going to learn to like forgive and forget, right? Water under the bridge, that kind of thing. And 4 of Wands, yes, beautiful cards. I love this for you, pile 1. This is, again, such a beautiful, like, happy home. See how they're almost giving like in a little olive branch to each other? Yeah, so like making amends. And, you know, again, this is like happy relationship. Four of Wands is like the marriage, the happy marriage and family card. Some people call it the twin flame card because it looks like 1111 for each of these pillars. Like, you do have like such a strong foundation with this person. And again, the universe and the unicorns say, don't throw it all away because of like your pride and ego. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Very good messages. Yeah, very, very, I would say very, very clear messages for you, pile one. Now, the one that I wasn't sure of was this one. I think this is from the tarot at the end of the rainbow. So let me just quickly look up 10. It's Major Arcana. I'm just forgetting what that is off the top of my head today. Hold on. I think it's the Hierophant, but let me double check here. Did I say 10? It's 5, but I read the, y'all, my Roman numerals are so bad. That's a 5, but it is the Hierophant, so I was right there. Okay, good. Yeah, so that's the Hierophant card, and according to this little booklet, it says, a priest sits on their stone chair. Tools of their religion adorn their bodies everywhere. They wear rainbow-colored pants. The keywords are to connect to the divine, receive messages, teach others what you know. All right, yeah, so you are trying to come to alignment more with this energy. The Hierophant is someone who's very almost authoritative, but not in like a domineering or tyrannical way, just like someone who is like confident in their own power and their own, you know, they're self-confident, but they're like fair, you know? So this is the energy that you want to work toward, pile one, is to be, you know, firm. Like, we don't want to, for example, in a situation like this where it's about like, you know, not seeing quite eye to eye with somebody, not being on the same page with them, having an argument. Obviously, you don't want to go all the way to the other end of the spectrum, right? Where it's like you become like a people pleaser and you aren't communicating your side of the story or how you feel. Like, you're still someone who is going to explain to them how you feel and how you see things, right? But the important thing is to, again, try to see it from their perspective as well. And just know that sometimes, and this is something I've learned in my couples therapy, the point of like the couples therapy is not like to like, or even getting into arguments, you know, it's not to be like someone is right and someone is wrong, like someone wins an argument. That's never the goal, right? The goal is to have healthy communication, opened up, and like explain how you feel and hear how the other person feels. And, you know, the truth is, in a lot of cases, both feelings are completely valid. Like, there's no right or wrong person in certain situations sometimes. Like, you know, like, certainly there are right and wrong situations, to be completely fair. And again, this is general, so I don't know your specifics, right, pile one? I wasn't there with whatever this is about. But I do know that in a lot of situations, both people's like feelings, if they were to get hurt, right? So there are a lot of situations in which both people's perspectives are totally valid, right? For example, just another example, definitely not from my personal life, haha. But for example, you know, life gets hard, right? It's really hard to juggle like all of our chores and responsibilities and work. And sometimes, and confirmation there, it's 11:11 actually, which again, this Four of Wands, 11:11. Life gets hard, right? Especially if you're someone who's like married or in this long-term relationship with someone. It gets really hard to juggle everything, right? This 10 of Wands is about carrying too much, having so much like on your shoulders at any given time. Like, maybe you're swamped at work, right? And so, for example, one of you may be like slacking on like your home chores or responsibilities, right? Because you're just so like you give so much to work that you don't have anything left to give to the home, you know, just as one example. But right. So like, it's like, it's not that you should instantly forgive someone for, you know, not doing their chores, but we want to have a little bit of forgiveness, right? We want to have a little bit of leeway, and a little bit of, what's the word? Flexibility. Yeah. We want to have a little bit of flexibility to kind of understand, like, okay, I get that this week you're swamped with work, but we still have things we have to get done around the house, right? Again, just as one example. So like, in that situation, right, both people's feelings are valid, right? The person who's overworked at work is like, I literally have nothing left to give. I am so tired and burnt out, and I am just trying to survive every day. And I am sorry that I'm not, you know, keeping up with my chores at home perfectly. And the other person who is expecting, you know, to live in a nice, clean home and, you know, not have to worry about, you know, responsibilities falling by the wayside, their feelings are also valid in this situation, right? So that's just one example of like an argument where it's like, technically both people's perspectives are totally valid in that situation. And it's just because life gets hard, right? And sometimes there really is more that we are expected to do and be responsible for than there are hours in the day. And so we just have to be kind to each other and kind to ourselves, you know, if we can't manage it all the time. Like, sometimes it's okay to have a few days where you don't actually make your bed or something like that, you know, like, so maybe we just need to learn to be a little more forgiving of each other, a little more patient, a little more kind, and a little more flexible. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to get you these cards too. There's so many cards for you, pile one. All right. Okay, look, I love when this happens. You literally got the Hierophant twice. Okay, that is amazing. By the way, these are the last Unicorn cards. Two of Swords. Okay, yeah, so this is about being indecisive, not knowing which way to choose, like which way to go. I'm gonna put that on the Ten of Wands here. Then you also have the Death card. Okay, so a lot of people get scared when they see the Death card, but the Death card is actually about rebirth. So again, just kind of like the Storm card, you are, I think, at a stage where it's almost like, I don't know if you play video games, pile one, but it's almost like a checkpoint in a video game. And if you don't know what that means, it just means like, it's like the end of a chapter, right, in a book, and then the start of a new chapter. And so I think, you know, the way you can look at this Death card is that something that maybe you were lacking in understanding, like, look at this skeleton's face. He's like, oh, you know, maybe now with this newfound perspective, you're able to like understand and like close the chapter on something, and then you're able to like move on and go, you know, moving on, and then from now on you'll have like a better perspective of the situation. And again, I was not there, so I do not know what this is specifically referring to, but yeah, that is what the Death card means, is like a transformation almost, right? Again, you got the Storm card. I'm just coming back to, you know, every storm comes to an end, it says. So yeah, this is Death is an ending card, right? But it's also about a new beginning. So that's beautiful. I love that. Pile one. Okay, last but certainly not least, you have a recommendation. I say last, but we still have all these cards to get to. Okay, so much for having my reading be short today. But you do have this card. It says, it's hard to see, I'm so sorry that the focus is like, you know, I need to get better lighting because I always forget that I used to have like a spot lamp for my old readings, and now that I moved, I need to get a better light set up, so forgive me, but hopefully you can read that it says Pearl. Does not want to focus, but it says love, trust, and emotional healing. Oh my gosh, it's so perfect. Hopefully you can see that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you can't see it, you'll just have to trust me. Which, you know, ironically, this whole reading is about trust, right? Faith, trust, and pixie dust. Yeah, no, this is love, trust, and emotional healing. That's perfect. Yeah, so the pearl is a perfect representation of everything we've been talking about in this reading so far. It's like you're learning to heal from this. You're learning to, you know, communicate better with this person. You're learning to forgive and forget and move on. So that's beautiful. All right, so last but not least, before we get to the final last but not least, Bella Sara cards, let's just see some direct messages from this person on your mind. So it says, I am coming in to show you a better version of me. Yeah, so this person wants to improve. They are definitely not in a position where they are someone who is trying to, you know, be like, it's my way, their highway. You know, they do want to learn. They do want to improve for you, pile one. So that's reassuring, hopefully, to you. It says, I loved you more than I let on. Okay, so this person again is, I think, learning to communicate. Like, again, how I remember how I was saying earlier, like, love is an action. It's not just a feeling, right? So many people think love is just a feeling, but if you think about it, feeling love for someone, that person doesn't necessarily feel it from you. You have to actually take action. You have to actually communicate or somehow show your love for the other person. So this person is learning how to show you their love for you better, and that's beautiful. And so it says, I became numb because I refused to take responsibility for my behavior. Exactly. Oh my God, I love when synchronicities happen. This is such a clear message, pile one. Yeah, this person is learning now how to take responsibility for their past behavior, how to, you know, own up to their mistakes in the past, because they do want to become a better version of themselves for you, because yeah, they miss you. So again, even if this might be someone who you're in low contact with or no contact, but for most of you, I think this is just, you know, they miss spending quality time with you too. They miss being someone that they can, you know, turn to, someone they want you to be, they want both of you to be closer again, you know? Like when maybe you at one point in time were closer than you are now. So it says, don't wait around for me though. I think this is trying to say that like both of you are learning to, you know, take, again, self-responsibility. So it's not just that they are taking responsibility, right? For their actions in this. Oh, yeah, accountability, that's it. They're taking accountability and responsibility for their own behavior, but also they're saying, don't wait for me to just do that. Like, you also, you know, both of you, the unicorns are saying, right, both of you need to take responsibility for your part to play in whatever this situation was. And again, I don't know your personal situation, but whatever this was between you and this person, they want you to also look at your own actions and your own behavior, you know, do the same for them, right? Like if they're willing to take responsibility and apologize for their behavior, they want you to do the same. They want that reciprocation, right? So don't wait for them just to fix it, this situation, whatever it is. You also have to contribute and, you know, meet them halfway. Yeah, that's it. So this says, you and I were too young. Yeah, so in the past, whatever happened between you two, it's mostly just because, you know, you're learning how to mature, right? This is a conversation about maturing, taking responsibility for your past actions, learning to be better today than you were yesterday. And so, yeah, part of this is maybe you two just, you know, got into a relationship really young. So you both have a lot to learn still when it comes to how to interact with each other, how to show each other love and care, how to take responsibility for your own part to play in this. So yeah, It says, we will be together again. Yeah, they really want to work it out between you two. Again, whether you're in separation with this person or not, they really do want to heal whatever was broken here. And it says, I am becoming a better person. Oh gosh, I love when these, literally the word better came out twice here. Show you a better version of me. I am becoming better person. Yeah, they really want, you know, you to acknowledge that they have been trying. They have been putting in real effort to become better for you in this relationship. That's beautiful. That's so, so beautiful. All right. And this says, I couldn't let you get close to me. Okay. So they have like this insecurity too, that I think is part of the underlying problem. And again, without knowing too much, I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, because everybody's situation is different, right? With the specifics of what's happening here. But they want you to know that like part of it stems from this like insecurity, right? That they felt like they couldn't get too close. They were pushing you away in a lot of ways. And now I think they're learning to, again, take responsibility for that past action and that past hurt. For some of you, it could have even been a betrayal of trust for a few of you. So yeah, but again, I'm becoming a better version of myself twice. Like, that is so good, pile 1. So yeah, they are really trying. They are really putting in this effort to want to show you that they can change, that they're trying their best to be what you need them to be, because they don't want to lose you. Yeah. All right. It says, I often wonder if you feel the same way. Wondering. Yeah, they want to know, you know, I'll put this under, I miss you. Like, I miss us. I mean, not just you. I read that wrong, I think. I miss us. Yeah. They miss how things used to be, you know, feel better in the past, almost. Like, you all used to see more eye to eye with each other in the past. Maybe when you were younger, right? When circumstances were different, when life wasn't so chaotic and you didn't have as many responsibilities weighing you down and, yeah, taking you away from each other in a way. All right, it says, am I good enough for you? Yeah, so they're worried. Again, there's that word insecure. Oh, I love this. I love synchronicities and readings. Yeah, so they worry that they don't even know if you think that they're good enough for you at this point, because they're scared that you feel like you can do better or something. Oh, okay. And last card out of this deck, it says, we are definitely not on the same page, out of sync. Yeah. So they want you to be, though. They want you to see more eye to eye. And they want you to understand their perspective. And hopefully from this reading, you do understand their perspective a little better. And again, without it being like about specifics, all I can say is, yeah, this person is trying, pile 1. This person wants you to know they're trying to be better for you. They want to communicate that they miss you and they miss us, as in they miss the two of you together and what you used to be. And they know that you're not on the same page now, but they want to get back to where you were on the same page and on each other's team, right? Like the Lord song, we're on each other's team. We're on each other's team. All right. I don't want to get sued. So not sued, but I don't want to get flagged, so I can't sing too much of the song. Do you know that in the YouTube algorithm you can't even sing songs anymore? For whatever reason, the AI is so good, it is able to hear everything you say and flag your content if you even sing a few lines of a song. So can't sing too much now anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, if I remember, I'll try to link the Lord song that I'm talking about. I think it's just called Team though. But yeah, anyway, pile number 1. This has been a long, in-depth reading, but I really do hope this helps. I hope it changes your perspective a little bit. Because yeah, this person does, I can tell, really care about you and this relationship, and they want to heal from this. There was another card that came out, something that was about like healing. But yeah, they want I think it was here, this pearl card. Yeah, emotional healing. They want emotional healing between you two. Oh, it's so sweet. All right, and last but certainly not least, I know I keep saying that, but this is really truly the last thing. We have the Bella Sara Moon Fairy cards. Now this is a brand new, unopened little pack. It's a little blister pack, I think they call them. They're little cards. It's like a trading card game, so TCG for short, right? And just like came out in the 90s, and I didn't know about these back when I was a kid, but I watched Jordy's Computer actually made a really cool video about these, and I was like, when I first saw them, I was like, oh my god, these would be perfect. These little Bella Sara cards are literally perfect for tarot readings. So let's see what you got. You got this beautiful sticker. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, then you have this little card. Looks like all the fairies. Fairy Court. It says, Emma, Daru, and Calm. Know the moonstone is hidden in the fairy realm in the Emeraldian wilds, but the fairy court refuses to let them enter until they can answer 7 riddles. Each time they guess wrong, a whole day passes. The friends race to figure out the answers before Ivina gets the moonstone and uses its magic to control Herd Moon Fairy. Oh my gosh, am I not even focused on it? Sorry, y'all. I thought I was holding it in the right spot. There you go. Yeah, you can pause if you want to reread that. Okay, but yeah, this is about holding court. Hopefully some of y'all aren't actually physically in court with this person, but yeah, it was a bit like, again, you know, I was definitely getting therapy vibes from y'all, which is honestly the first time I've ever gotten that in a reading. So, but yeah, this is like, yeah, talking things out, right? Holding counsel, having time to actually work through the issues and hear both perspectives, both sides of the situation. Beautiful. All right, and then you have these little Bella Sara cards. Let's see what else this is. Oh, this just says unlock games. Yeah, so they had like little codes, but I don't think they work because this says go to bellasara.com and use the little codes. But as far as I could tell, the codes don't even work anymore. So, but if you can figure out how to get it done, you know, I won't be using the code. So then you also have this cute little Serena card. Ooh, that's a pretty name. Maybe that's some of y'all's names, Serena. Give your attention to the things that matter to you. Yeah. So again, focus on the things that matter most. Like I was saying earlier, don't focus on the small stuff like that. Oh, that's what, it's so funny when this happens to me where I'll think of something I hadn't thought about in literally years, like almost like a decade now. But there used to be this book called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And then it was like, and it's all small stuff. That was actually a book my mom used to like to read. And I hadn't thought about it in years. And then I thought about it the other day. I was like, why am I thinking about this? It's because it was coming out in this reading. So yeah, I love when that happens too. It's so funny when something becomes like relevant to my reading, but I didn't know why I was thinking about it, you know, a day before my reading or whatever. Okay, so then we have Trube, listen to the song of your spirit. Yeah, so listen to your heart, basically communicate, like don't become like a pushover in this situation either, right? Like I was saying, like a people pleaser. Don't like just forgive to forget, you know, like to appease them, right? Like definitely still have that Hierophant energy of like being strong in your conviction, but knowing how to say something in like a diplomatic way, right? In order to communicate how you feel about a situation, and then, you know, listen honestly and openly and fairly to their perspective. And yeah, that way you both can at least understand where the other person's coming from. Yeah. And again, like I said, very much like strategies I've been learning in my own couples therapy. So it says, you also get this cute little purple horse in front of the ocean. How cute. This is Myrti. And it says, imagine love and joy coming into your life. Yeah, call in the loving energy that you once had for this person. You can bring it back as long as you know, yeah, just don't let your ego win in this situation is what I keep getting. Like remember why you fell in love with this person in the first place, right? Like, again, I know that's hard when you're arguing with someone or you're fighting with somebody, but just try to remember that, you know, give them love, give them grace, right? In this situation, whatever this is. So then this says, Nike, have the courage to trust yourself. Yeah, that's beautiful. Look at that. The angel wings in front of the moon. So pretty. Yeah, so see how these Bella Sara cards are just so beautiful. The artwork's so gorgeous. And it's just like, yeah, such a cool set of cards. So yeah, those were your Bella Sara cards. You got this reading. So yeah, I hope that this reading was helpful to you. It did go a bit over time, nearly at like 50 minutes for you, pile 1. So yeah, I hope that you got something great out of this reading. I really hope that it resonated. If it didn't, again, go ahead and choose a different pile. But yeah, if you liked this reading, please give it a thumbs up, like, comment, shares, and subscribes. All of that good stuff really, really helps me out. You have no idea. Really helps me with the algorithm. So thank you so much for that. Giving back to that energy exchange today. And yeah, thank you for being here for your reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Bye. Hello, beautiful magical creatures. Hi, and welcome to your reading, pile 2. If you chose this cute little unicorn sitting, like laying down. Maybe they're sleeping. Maybe they're just relaxing. I like to think they're in a beautiful little flower field. But yeah, pile 2 if you chose this cute little unicorn. This is going to be your reading. We are just asking a general question today about, you know, love messages, whatever wants to come out of the cards. Kind of just left it open for interpretation today to see whatever comes through for you at this time. Just a reminder, all my readings are timeless. So whenever you came across this reading is when you're meant to hear it. So even if it was like from 5-10 years ago, you know, yeah, whenever you come across this is when these messages are meant to resonate for you. And yeah, so just right off the bat, just so you know, we have these cute little Bella Sara cards. Now these are actually a trading card game, so it was from like bellasara.com. It was an old trading card game from like the 90s. So I don't think the cards, like the codes, actually even work. But yeah, we got one of those for you today. We're gonna open that at the very end of your reading. So that's a bit of fun. And then for you also, we have these. Now these obviously aren't cards, but they are little messages. They're called Advice from the Unicorn. They were from a 2020 calendar that I got right before right as I was like deciding that I wanted to start my tarot channel. I found these in a shop and I thought it was so perfect because I had already just picked out my name, Unionicorn. So I thought that was so kismet. So yeah, let's see what comes out for you. So again, you don't have to necessarily pay attention to the dates here. This is just like if could be like further confirmation. For example, if you or your person's birthday is like March 24th or some other significant date for you. But let's see what it says. It says, you never know what the person next to you is going through. Remember that before you judge. Okay, yeah, so remember to keep in mind that you don't know what this other person is going through. And then it also says, quick tip, don't be an asshole. All right, yeah, December 26th to December 27th. All right, yeah, so that's a pretty strong message. Normally that comes out in with the Rebel deck, but yeah, I didn't realize they had these little messages from the calendar. Advice from the Unicorn also has some cuss words in it. But yeah, it says, so for whatever's happening in this situation between you and this person, the universe is reminding you to, you know, be gentle with them. Don't judge them too harshly. Don't be a jerk. Don't be an asshole. Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened between you and this person, but let's keep looking. Now you have the bitch fire. Wow, what is with all the cussing today? Okay, stand up for yourself. All right. There's some situation between you and this person. Oh, by the way, I think I put that there last reading. So yeah, I'm going to put it like that. So something happened between you and this person you have on your mind, pile 2. Yeah, this situation, whatever is happening, and again, this is a general reading, right? So I don't know all the specifics between you and your person, but according to these cards, something happened between you two where you felt like you needed to stand up for yourself. By the way, this is number 16, if that's significant to you. Maybe it could be again, a birth date or a day or something like that. Hopefully not an age, because again, all my readings are meant for 18 plus only, so please do not watch my readings if you're not older than 18. But yeah, let's see. So this just says stand up for yourself. So yeah, there's some situation here where it calls for you to stand up for yourself here. Then it also says, though, this one says make an effort. So great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Okay, so yeah, this is about listening to your intuition when it comes to you and this person, listening to divine timing, you know, like listening to these tarot readings, for example. You know, there's so many amazing tarot readers here on YouTube alone that can give you some guidance, maybe on specifically to do with your situation here. But it says great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So yeah, listening to the divine guidance, for example, listening to these readings, and trusting your intuition as well. I cannot state enough, like, especially when it comes to readings, like so many people, I think, underestimate the power of their own intuition, because again, this is a general reading, right? Like, I don't know your specific situation. I don't know even who you are versus who you're thinking about, who your person is. So these readings, I'm just literally having to use my own intuition to kind of get a general picture or story from the cards. But, you know, if there's like a message that, you know, comes to your mind when I'm talking about these things, don't second guess yourself there, because yeah, you want to make sure that you're also listening and honing your own intuition, right? That's part of tarot. It's like a collaborative thing between the tarot reader and you. It's not all about what the tarot reader can do necessarily. It's also about like how you're interpreting what the tarot reader is saying, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind. Then you also have the card Be Still. Okay, so this is from the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. And this is like, I always see this card and think of the yoga pose Havasana, which is obviously my favorite pose because it's literally just like laying on the floor and like it after you like just did a bunch of other yoga routines, and it's just like the most relaxing feeling to take that 5 minutes of stillness at the very end of your at the end of the yoga session, right? So yeah, at this time, this is just the universe and the unicorns are guiding you to, you know, take your time, take it slow, take it easy. You don't have to rush anything when it comes to this relationship. There's no rush. Yeah, there's no there's a word that I'm blanking on. I'm so sorry. There's no need to like force anything, right? At this time, this is just like listen to the universe, listen to your guidance, listen to your intuition. Yeah, and I think I'm definitely getting like meditation too from this, right? So again, that's again about trusting your internal intuition. Maybe if you are getting into maybe a yogic practice, or if not, learning a bit more about meditation could be helpful for you at this time. And practicing meditation will help, you know, calm you and your mind. And because I'm getting the sense for you, Pile, too, that you're also like an overthinker like me, because I'm very much an overthinker. So again, so I usually, like I said, this card is usually where I warn about the cussing, but you already had 2 cuss words come out. You had asshole and bitch, so I guess that's I guess I don't need to warn you about that anymore. But this card also can contain cuss words, and it says, you look like a shit show. Wow. Thanks, universe, right? You're a hot mess. Facts. Clean yourself up. Okay. So yeah, I think this is just, this is like such a kind of a mean way to put it, but yeah, this is those like no nonsense cards where it's like, they're saying at this time, you know, you're kind of all over the place right now, pile 2, and the universe is urging you to like focus on yourself, focus on your self-care, focus on your like career and your own, like stay in your own lane kind of, right? Like that's the sense I'm getting. Like you're probably asking about somebody else, but the universe is reminding you to be like, it really doesn't matter what's happening out there, like what's happening with other people. Like you need to focus on yourself, right? It says clean yourself up, focus on your own stuff, right? Oh my gosh, what's that? Keep your side of your street clean. It's like, I think is the song Karma. Was it Karma? Yeah, by Taylor Swift. She's like, I keep my side of the street clean. Yeah, so like, you know, focus on yourself. Focus on your own pentacles, your own bag. Focus on your own self-improvement. Yeah, don't pay too much attention to what's happening out there. Pay attention, look more inward, right? Focus on yourself. Focus on what you can do to improve your own life. Yeah, internally. All right. Very interesting. Okay, pile number 2. You also have rebirth. Oh, interesting. Okay. So you have this rebirth card. It says, reinvent yourself. Again, there's that word yourself again coming out. Sorry, let me see if that focuses. There you go. Rebirth. Reinvent yourself. And it says, give life to your dreams and create a new reality. Yeah, exactly. So you're in this phase of your life and you haven't, we'll see what else comes out, right? Because you haven't had the Hermit pop out quite yet, but we'll see. You know, I've got a lot of cards here for you, pile 2. Yeah, you're in this phase of your life where you really need to just not pay too much, like pay no mind. Yeah, that's the phrase. Don't pay too much attention to what's happening with other people. Like they're going through their own stuff, right? And again, try to remember not to judge them for what they're going through. Like, again, focus on yourself. Don't look over here, look over here. Stay in your own lane, focus on yourself. You do your own self-improvement, right? Meditation, work, like self-improvement. Like maybe even you might want to like read some, you know, self-help or like, yeah. By the way, I actually listened to this podcast that I love so much, so I'm just gonna, despite like being embarrassed about it, I'm going to admit that I absolutely love this one podcast. This is actually kind of an old podcast now. I mean, there's still it's kind of transitioned into something else, right? But because some of the members like from years ago like moved on to other projects, right? But I'm like, for whatever reason, I missed the boat on this podcast. It's called Self-Helpless, and it's actually by like 3 amazing like comedians. So there's like Taylor Tomlinson and Delaney Fisher and, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the last person's name? I haven't actually watched this podcast in a while. I do want to get back to it. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the third person's name. I'm so sorry. But they're all 3 comedians, or one of them actually stopped being a comedian for a while. Like I said, they and she's the one who's continuing to run the podcast. So she now does more like interview style, but interviews of other guests. But it's just like such a fun podcast, and it's all about, like, in the past they would really focus on like self-help books, and they had a bunch of like each podcast was a new topic of like self-improvement. So yeah, if you are interested in checking that out, I highly recommend that one, because that's what I've been like listening almost to every single episode. I still have a few to finish, but yeah, for whatever reason, like I didn't ever come across this podcast when it was like live, like when it was actually when they were uploading, you know, more regularly. But I found it like at the beginning of this year, and I've just absolutely fallen in love with this, because they're so fun, and these women are so funny. Oh my gosh, it's going to kill me though that I've forgotten the third person's name, because I feel like a jerk, because yeah, they're all so funny. Let me look it up because I need to know. Gosh. Kelsey Cook, that's it. Kelsey Cook. I'm so sorry, Kelsey Cook, if you're somehow, I doubt you'd ever see this, but yeah. Kelsey Cook, another amazing, hilarious comedian. Yeah, highly recommend their really cute podcast. It's just like, it's such a fun time. It's like hanging out with, you know, friends, and they're so smart and so funny, and I think that, you know, I've gotten a lot out of their podcast. So that's just one example. Of course, you don't have to, like, if you don't vibe with that self-help helpless podcast, I just figured I would bring it up because yeah, they, like I said, specifically focus on self-help topics. But yeah, if you like, you know, so for you, pile 2, just go and find the things that resonate with you, right? When it comes to, focusing on yourself more, focusing on your self-improvement. And yeah, find media and maybe a good podcast. If that's not your jam, you know, find another podcast that is, you know, find something that you can resonate with and like learn from. So yeah, that's the advice, is to find something that you can really, you know, vibe with. So this says freedom. You got the freedom card. It says, live wild and free, choose your freedom and claim your independence. Yes, exactly. This is exactly what we were talking about, where it's like, this is like, you're in the season of your life, pile 2, where you need to be more self-sufficient, more independent, you know, and maybe you're learning how to break away from like codependency. You might have struggled with that in the past. I know I have. So there's no judgment here, I promise you, pile 2. But yeah, this is also saying be courageous, have courage. This is just reminding you that you are safe. Fear is an illusion. Set strong boundaries. Yes, again, boundary setting is so, so important, especially when in the past, maybe you've been someone who's been more of like a people pleaser, someone who has been, you know, living kind of for other people rather than for yourself. Because I know that, again, this is just like, I know it's not about me, pile 2, but I actually so resonate with your pile. Everything that's coming out is something that I also personally need to work on as well. So like, you know, I'm kind of preaching to the choir, as they say, but like, I literally can resonate so much with this pile, because I have also been the kind of person who, because for whatever reason I didn't want to focus on myself, I didn't want to focus on my problems, like I found it easier to focus on other people. And I used to think that, you know, that was because I was like, you know, helpful and loving and wanting to be a giver and give everybody everything. But I had to kind of learn the hard way that's like, oh, it's actually because I'm almost being avoidant of my own life and my own problems and solving my own stuff, like dealing, because I didn't want to deal with my own ish, right? Like, and so that's what I've had to learn as well, is to exactly like all these cards are saying, like I've had to learn how to be more independent, more self-sufficient, more okay with being like alone and vibing on my own and doing my own thing, and not necessarily being dependent on other people for emotional stuff, right? Because you think, oh, like I'm giving so much of my time and energy to all these other people, like they're the ones who are dependent on me. But truthfully, at the end of the day, it's almost like you are dependent on serving others. Like you're not, like you, I think a lot of people who end up becoming people pleasers, you're almost taught that like you're selfish, right? To focus on yourself. Yeah. But that's just not true. Like you, at the end of the day, you know, the phrase, like, you got to put on your own oxygen mask first. Like, you have to be okay with taking care of yourself and, you know, filling up your own cup first, you know, as they say, like, in order to have an abundance, like an overflow of love to give then to others. Because if you are pouring everything out to other people, then you have nothing left for yourself. And then you end up becoming like resentful. Truthfully, you end up resenting others when maybe that wasn't your intention. You didn't end up, like, you didn't mean to resent others, but like, I know that, like I said, this is coming so much from my own personal experience, having been in the past, like being someone who's like identified with being a giver, right? To the point where I was over giving, and then I was ending up being like upset at other people because they weren't like reciprocating as much as I was giving to them. Like I was over pouring, like I was over giving to everybody. And then I was like, why aren't you giving back? Like I want something back for myself. And it's like, I've had to learn the hard way to be like, well, I could over give and give and give and then like be upset at people for not giving back to me, or I can keep some of that stuff for myself. And like, it's not selfish to care about yourself, you know. But unfortunately, a lot of us were taught that it was. And so we have to relearn that. We have to give ourselves the permission to have this rebirth, to be like, it's okay to be like free of that expectation that we place on ourselves, that we have to be the one who's always caring for everybody else, being the caretaker, right? The one that everyone comes to with their emergencies. And because, you know, that's what you've taught other people, right? Over the years, you kind of end up accidentally teaching people like, you're the reliable one, you're the responsible one, you're the one who's going to come and bail people out of their own mistakes, and not, you know, so that in a lot of ways it's like enabling, you know. And I didn't know that for the longest time myself. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'm actually, you know, the phrase is like, you teach people how to treat you. And I didn't realize that I was teaching people that like I was allowing them to kind of almost use me and like use all my goodwill and like use up all my energy. Because that's the thing with like, if you're a giver, you end up learning that you run into a lot of people who just end up being takers, right? Because they're not giving back, they're not reciprocating. And for the longest time, I was like so frustrated with that. I was like, why are they, you know, taking? Why can't they give back? Like, why can't this be like a nice symbiotic relationship, right? Where I give, I pour into them, they pour into me. And that's the ideal, of course, right? And sometimes we get lucky, right? And we get those people who can reciprocate all the energy and love we're giving them. And that's, you know, a beautiful thing. And that's definitely the ideal, but it's very rare and very like, it's almost like a lot to expect of another person, right? Is what I'm getting at. So that's what I've personally had to learn. Again, I am, like I keep saying, I'm not judging you whatsoever, pile two, because from like, I know from my own perspective from the past that it was really coming from like a good place, like a place of like wanting to be this beautiful, loving energy. But, you know, you have to be okay with giving yourself the same amount of love as you give others, because you are just as important as anyone else. And you have to remember that. Like, I know it's hard to remember that, but it's true. Like, you have to be okay with being a little bit, quote unquote, selfish. All right, then you also have, oh my gosh, how beautiful. You have the lovers. Ooh, and this is from the movie. This is actually The Last Unicorn Tarot. So it's from the movie The Last Unicorn. Highly recommend that movie if you've never seen it. I mention this in every one of my videos, especially since this is the messages from the unicorns, just because obviously I'm very biased. I love unicorns. This is one of my favorite movies because the animation is just so beautiful. The story is very interesting, but yeah, the animation, the music is just totally worth it. Even if the story is a little weird sometimes, I think it's totally worth it to watch this movie. But yeah, you've got the Lovers card. Beautiful. All right, then you also have 9 of Wands. All right, and then, sorry, Knight of Wands. You did have Knight of Wands. You have Knight of Wands and Nine of Wands. That's what I'm trying to say. So Knight of Wands, Nine of Wands. Beautiful. All right. Let me see, where am I going to put these? Just put them like that for now. All right. So I'll look into what those mean in a little bit here. Sorry, you've just had so many. I went a little crazy overboard with cards today. But yeah, let's see what else you got. Okay, so you've got the card 1, which is the Ace of Wands. Yeah, okay, so this is about you coming into, again, like more of a independent energy. This, by the way, this is not a, I mean, all my readings are 18 plus. This is not a spicy reading, but yeah, you can, a lot of people sometimes interpret Ace of Wands, you know, in a spicy way. So if you want to, you can. But yeah, you know, so again, this is just though about like you taking charge of your life, like you taking on maybe more creative projects. This is like Ace of Wands is like a lot of passion, a lot of energy, a lot of creativity. Yeah, all good things. That's confirmation. All right, so let's see what else you got. 10 of Cups. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Yeah, this is such a beautiful, abundant card. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, where am I? My cards are all over the place. I had a better layout on pile 1, so forgive me. You know, I'm gonna turn this one upside down because then I'm like, you can't see what it says, but when I turn it upside down, then I can kind of semi-cover it. I know, look, it's not that readable, but at least it's it's upside down. It honestly, that reminds me of the Hangman though, like changing perspective. So you didn't get Hangman yet. Well, we'll see. I don't want to speak too soon. Let's see what else, what other cards you got. Queen of Cups. Yeah, gorgeous. Okay, so yeah, you are learning to become this Queen of Cups energy, taking charge of your life. You know, you've got, like, again, you are, like I said, you're someone who's a giver, right? Which is funny because there's actually this song called The Giver by K-Flay. Hopefully I'll remember to link it in the end. But yeah, but that was, so then there's also, I think, one by, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on her name? Chapel Roan also. I think it's also called The Giver, or is it called The Taker? I forget. But yeah, I always think of those two songs as like, you know, kind of being like, I like to think of a lot of songs as like one song saying something and then another song like responding to it in a way. So yeah, I always think of those two songs as like, you know, kind of like, oh gosh, what's the word I'm thinking of? Yeah, like a couple, you know, like those two songs are like this, like, you know, tight knit. I always think of those songs as like one responding to the other. So yeah, one's like talking about being like trying to be like a giver but not knowing if they're a giver, and the other one is also talking about being like, I've given you so much and you've always been the one who's been taking. So yeah, take it how it resonates for you, pile 2, but that's just what came to mind. Yeah, you again are someone who is such a loving energy. Like, look at this waterfall, like, and this gorgeous pool of water. The cups represent love and loving emotional energy. And so yeah, you want to get to this place where you, like I said, fill up your cup enough to where it's just overflowing, right? It's spilling out, and then you can give it to everybody else from a place. So it's not coming from a place of lack, but it's coming from a place of abundance. Yeah, that's it. Beautiful. So yeah, you're learning to be this Queen of Cups energy. You're learning how to harness the beautiful, loving energy. That's amazing. Okay, yeah, so again, moving away from the 5 of Cups energy here, where in the past you may have been too focused on these spilled cups to look, to know, like to see what you did have. So again, for example, that I was using earlier, like you may have felt like in the past you were overgiving to somebody, and then you were upset about that, and you were, you know, kind of quote unquote crying over spilled milk in a way. Like you were crying about this situation with this past person, maybe the person who's on your mind, and you now know that like you were like kind of missing out on this beautiful loving energy that you did have, maybe again, maybe not necessarily with this person, but with somewhere else in your life. And because you were so focused on this upsetting thing here, you were missing out and not seeing what you did have. And again, it could be about what you didn't, you know, what you had with this one person. Again, maybe it was just that you wanted more than this person could give you, right? And then so now you're learning how to be okay with where you're at with this person in the relationship, like accepting that, you know, the truth is, the hard truth is, pile 2, that nobody owes us really anything, right? We should be thankful and grateful for what people are able to give us. So in the past, you might have been a little bit ungrateful for the love that they were sharing because you wanted more, right? And so this is now a cautionary tale of like reminding you to just appreciate what people are able to give, appreciate people for how they are willing to show up for you, how they are able to, what they are able to give you, and let the rest go. And, you know, don't like expect too much from people, right? Like just accept what they're willing and able to give. So yeah, you have this star. That's such a beautiful major arcana card. Yeah, I love this deck, by the way. This is such a cute, this is called the Crystal Unicorns deck. Such a cute animation. Oh my gosh. Not an animation, but like, again, The Last Unicorn is an animated movie, but this is such a cute illustration is what I'm trying to say. So pretty. So yeah, this star, gorgeous, beautiful, abundant energy. This is a wish come true, like a wish fulfillment card. This also represents Aquarius. So yeah, but you're learning to harness this like star quality within yourself. You're learning to focus and give yourself the love that you felt like you were lacking in the past with this 5 of Cups. You're now learning to give it to yourself, which is so beautiful. Yes, the Hierophant. Okay, so for some of you, you may have been actually drawn to pile 1. Only take this if it resonates, but the Hierophant actually came out like twice in the last reading. So if you were at all like stuck between pile 1 and pile 2, I think there might be some messages for you potentially from pile 1 if you were called in the beginning. If you were like unsure which pile to pick, you could have messages in both piles today for you, pile 2. But yeah, if not, this is just again about, you know, learning how to become more fair. I think the way I look at the Hierophant, and again, I'm very much an intuitive reader, so other readers could maybe disagree with me, but the vibe that I get from the Hierophant is someone who's very fair and very just, because you see you have these pillars here. And it's different than the Justice card, but yeah, like they do have these pillars. Like it's kind of like for me, it's like the Strength card in the way that like the Hierophant is someone who is learning to be stronger, more independent, fair and just to those around them. That's how I interpret the Hierophant anyway. Then we also have, last but not least, the King of Swords. Okay, yeah, so the King of Swords is about swift justice, someone taking care of business, being able to cut things off that no longer serve you, right? So like, when I think of the King of Swords, I think strong boundary setting, which is definitely what I'm getting from the rest of your cards, pile 2, is that you're learning how to say no to some people sometimes. You're learning how to, you know, be more honest about what you can give to people so that you don't end up, you know, over giving and resenting it later, right? Because we need to remind ourselves, especially as recovering people pleasers, that no is a full sentence. Like if we actually know within ourselves that there's like an obligation that we're expected, someone else is like asking us to do, or expecting us to be there for them in their time of need, without like, especially when we know that they would not do the same for us in return, that is definitely a time in which we need to reevaluate and remember that like we're allowed to say no. We're allowed to put up boundaries, healthy boundaries. We're allowed to be more picky and choosy with our time. We're allowed to pick and choose, you know, because we only get one life, right? We only get one life, right? Pile 2. Sorry, I'm blanking on your number. Pile 2. But yeah, like, so you're learning how to be more, you know, discerning, be more picky, be more choosy with your time and energy. Yeah, especially with this Lovers card, like, especially when it comes to like, if you've been dissatisfied in the past with like, especially, you know, experiences, because you did choose this is love messages from the universe, right? So yeah, this is all about you learning to, you know, have self-love, have more self-compassion, and be okay with being more discerning with your love life. And, you know, maybe learning to, instead of saying yes to every like, for example, hangout session where it's just like, oh, I don't know what we're gonna do, we're just gonna kind of vibe around and not do anything in particular. Maybe you are someone who's like learning that it's like, actually, that's not what I want. What I want is more quality time. Like I want us to actually, like, for example, plan a real date, like plan an actual activity where like we're going to specifically go to the movies, or specifically go to a restaurant, specifically like you're someone who's like, actually, I deserve to be wined and dined now, you know, like I don't want to just hang out at your house and like, you know, what is it called? Like Netflix and chill necessarily. Like maybe you're like, actually, I feel like I do deserve to have more quality time. And again, it doesn't have to, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You know, you're not again being selfish by expecting someone to put in effort, right? Because you're valuable, right? Pile 2, you deserve effort. So yeah. And then you also have at this time, like a good gem for you at this time would be the Amber card. So it's, for some of you, that might even be your name, or you might just resonate with the name Amber. But it says this little piece of amber is good for luck, courage, and self-confidence. Yes, again, you got the courage card here. I love when synchronicities like that happen. So yeah, you got courage twice here, pile 2. I love when that happens. Love synchronicities when reading. So yeah, this is great for giving you courage to be brave, to, you know, like communicate what you deserve, standing up for yourself, giving yourself more self-confidence, it said. So yeah, having courage and self-confidence to ask for what you want and need in a relationship, and setting healthy boundaries is included in that. So that's beautiful. Very strong message there for you, pile 2. Okay, so this reading is almost 40 minutes, so I got to get to your messages. Now, these are direct messages from someone on your mind, so again, take it with a grain of salt if you don't have anyone in particular in mind, but think of somebody right now, and then let's see what comes out. So it says, even though you're not with me, my love for you grows every day. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, so there's somebody here who does want to make an effort toward you. And here's the also, okay, I just had some, sorry. I just heard like Jimmy Neutron brain blast. I don't know, maybe that's relevant for somebody. That makes me laugh though. It's like, that's so random. Maybe that was one of y'all's favorite shows, either you or your person, growing up, because that's such a blast from the past, literally from the 90s. The Jimmy Neutron cartoon. Brain blast. But yeah, I literally just had a thought, a brain blast, about how this is like this make the effort card, I'm reminded that it's like, yeah, when you want another person to kind of quote unquote step up, right, and like show that they care for you, we have to remember that like when we end up putting ourselves in this role of like the over giver, the giver, then you're kind of forcing the other person, whether you realize it or not, to end up actually taking on that taker role. And again, this is something that maybe we do kind of subconsciously. We don't even realize we're doing it. But yeah, like if you want to like balance this, you actually want to like give them opportunities to make the effort back, right? Give them a chance to be the one who's the giver in this situation, rather than, you know, always the one that you're giving. So they are put in that role of having to take everything that you're giving. You know, if you want to rebalance the scale, so to speak, give them more opportunities for them to give to you, right? Give them more opportunities to make that effort toward you. So yeah, this is saying that even though this person on your mind, you might not even actually be in a relationship with this person, but their love for you grows every day because you're giving them that space to like miss you, right? You're giving them that opportunity to make the effort toward you. You're giving them that chance to, you know, also consider what they want for themselves. And so that way you are both on the same page. So that's pretty. That's beautiful. Okay, so let's see what else. It says, you're everything I want and need. Aw. Yes, this person, whoever's on your mind, they really do love and admire you. Pile 2. So I don't think you have to worry there. Sorry, the focus is being weird. Okay, it says, I don't realize how perfect, I don't realize how perfect you are for me. Okay, so either this is in the past, like they didn't realize it, and now they're realizing it now, or they haven't quite realized. But again, if you shift your energy into, again, being more self-sufficient, independent, then you'll give them this opportunity to realize what they didn't realize. Because that's the other thing too, right? It's like, if we're always there for someone, they kind of, unfortunately, this is maybe just human nature, I don't really know what it is, but people tend to like, I don't want to keep saying I keep hearing take advantage, so I'm going to say it, but like, that's not really what I mean. I think that people don't intend to take advantage of others, but I think that they take for granted. Yeah, that's it. People take other people for granted, especially if they're there all the time, especially if you're always giving to this person. People like forget to like acknowledge what you are giving them until like you remove yourself from the situation, right? And then they have a chance to realize, they're like, then they turn around and go like, wait, what? Oh, you're gone? Oh, you're not giving me everything? You're not pouring into me all the time? Oh, you know, then it gives them actually a chance to realize what, you know, what they're missing, right? Like like that Beyonce song, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Right? So like, you're giving them a chance to realize what, like, how good you were to them. And yeah, the more independent you become, the more they will like, it's like I don't usually like to bring this up, but yeah, like, and again, if you were drawn to pile 1, this could also be relevant because you did not get the 4 of Wands, which is the twin flame card, but pile 1 did. Spoilers, pile 1 did get the 4 of Wands. And that is sort of all about like the idea behind the twin flame relationship is like, the dynamic there is usually like there's a runner and a chaser, right? So if you are the one who was giving, the giver, right? And you were like kind of almost chasing that other person, then they were just kind of naturally being put into that like taker role, take, and then like that almost put them in like an avoidance kind of like energy where like they were considered like the runner in the situation. So again, like, you know, so like if you were constantly chasing this person, constantly giving to them, and they got kind of almost used to it, you know, if you like pulled back your energy a little bit, I guarantee you they'll like turn around and look around and be like, wait, I thought you were chasing me. Wait, what? Wait, you want me to chase you now? You know, like you have to almost give them that opportunity to look around and realize what they're missing if you distance yourself just a little bit. Just become just a little, like, you don't have to like totally cut them off either. Just get in that more independent energy here, right? With this card. Yeah. So with your freedom card, with your courage to be a little more independent, a little more free thinking, a little more self-sufficient, then that will put them in the mindset to be like, oh, okay, they want me to, that will give them the opportunity to take the initiative toward you, right? So yeah, this is, it's cute. It says, I crave you. Aw. So yeah, this person really does love you and really does appreciate everything you've given them. They just maybe aren't the best at communicating that. So give them an opportunity to communicate that. So it says, my biggest regret is not telling you how I really feel. Exactly. Yeah, they really do regret not communicating this to you sooner. And I think for most of you, for a lot of you, I just got like the message is like, they thought you knew. They thought they were. But I think that they maybe were, again, this gets into like psychology, right? But like, again, the people pleaser is someone who was like kind of conditioned since childhood to be like that. And I think this person who's on your mind right now, when you asked about these direct messages from this person, they were kind of taught the opposite, right? They might have been someone who was like constantly showered with attention, constantly given stuff, constantly always like put on a pedestal almost. So they're very like used to having people kind of shower them, and they're kind of used to not having to work too hard, right, for their relationships, because I don't know, they've just been, I don't know, God's favorite, I guess, right? They've been very lucky in the fact that there have been a lot of people who really do like look up to them, admire them, appreciate them for their, good qualities, because this person on your mind has amazing qualities, right? But they have become a little too accustomed to people always giving and always noticing that. And so they have been somebody who has been more of like the taker in a lot of relationships, not just between you and this person, but just in a lot of their relationships. That's just sort of the way they were taught to be. Yeah, I'm definitely getting someone who's like had parents who would like spoil them rotten, yeah, so that's what I'm getting. But this says, I want to be more than friends. Okay, so this person could be like right now just a friend, right? Heavy air quotes, just a friend. But they obviously want more. Pretty self-explanatory there. Yeah, this person wants more than just friendship with you because they crave you. That's cute. So it says, I bury myself in work to forget you. Okay, so they're definitely someone who's more of an avoidant attachment style. Again, you might be someone who's more of a anxious attachment. And again, this is like, this is very much like therapy speak, but it's like, it's just that, again, it's the same type of dynamic, the push and the pull, the runner, the chaser, the giver, the taker, the avoidant, the anxious attachment. So in order to balance these energies, in order to both become more secure attached, you want to give them that opportunity by you learning how to become more secure in yourself, becoming, pouring more into yourself, right? Giving yourself that self-love that you were giving away for free, in the past, you were just giving it all away. If you learn to give yourself more of that self-love, then you will attract them. It's a bit ironic, but yeah, you'll give them the opportunity to, attract them, because the truth is people who love themselves are very attractive people, right? So like, yeah, that's the energy you want to start to come pile to, is this Queen of Cups energy. You want to attract this person toward you, and, you know, kind of give them that opportunity, almost have that expectation, right? That they show you that they care. Yeah, don't settle for less, basically. So it says, I lost myself for a little while. Yeah, so this person, especially if you pulled away your energy, so again, for some of you, you are already in this energy. For some of you're at the start of this sort of self-love journey. For some of you, you're toward the end, you know. Again, this is a general reading, so take it how it resonates for you, wherever you are on this like journey to find yourself. But this person is saying they felt like, especially if you maybe did walk away from them for a while, maybe there was a separation there, maybe they you know, felt your absence after a while. There's a part of them that felt like, again, they were so distracted with other things in their life that they didn't really realize it until a while later, that they like looked up and they look around, they're like, oh, where'd you go? You know, where'd Pile 2 go? I thought, you know, I thought they were chasing me. And so, yeah, this is definitely, you shifting your energy has definitely shifted the dynamic of this relationship, Pile 2. So they're saying that they kind of lost themselves when you walked away. If for some of you, if you've walked away, or if this hasn't happened yet, you know, this might happen in the future for you. Just take it how it resonates for your situation and where you're at on this journey. But yeah, for some of you, this is like, they're like, they feel like a part of them, like if you were to leave, you'd take a part of them with you, because I think that they don't really communicate this, but they really do feel like you are almost like their other half, or like there's this like unspoken bond between you. Like, I don't know how to really describe it, but yeah, they feel like you are kind of the only person who really gets them. And so if you leave, they feel like you're taking a part of them with you. Yeah. Oh no, the candle went out. Okay. Well, let me try to wrap this up. Yeah, this has been like so much forever doing short readings. This is like a 50-minute reading, so I hope that these messages are resonating with you, Pile 2. But it says, I left you before you could leave me. Okay, I see. Yeah, so this person on your mind also definitely has like maybe some abandonment issues that they're having to work on in their own life, because yeah, they're the kind of person who would rather be, again, avoidant, dismissive, walking away, because they do this to try to avoid being hurt. But the truth is that they end up hurting themselves when they avoid the things that matter the most to them. So yeah, but they're also working on this. So just rest assured, Pile 2, that again, the point of this reading is to focus less on this person and more on yourself, because that is going to shift the dynamic of the relationship in your favor, right? So yeah, because you want them to give you more support. So it says, it's comforting to know that we have each other's support when it matters. Aw, yeah. So again, in the past, they definitely want to acknowledge that they know how much you gave to this relationship. They know how much you poured into them. They really appreciate all that support you've given them in the past. And part of them wants to, return the favor. Part of them really does want to give that back to you, but they might just not be able to at this point in time. They might just still not be able to give everything that you expect or want from this relationship. But just know that they do appreciate everything you've given them. They think about it a lot. They really do. They feel like, for a lot of them, they feel like they wouldn't even be where they are today without you and your help. Oh, that's so sweet. Again, I'm like, I like resonate with this pile, so like I'm also like kind of reacting like, oh, but yeah, it's, y'all, readings are wild sometimes, what comes through, because I know it just makes me sound like I'm saying what I want to hear, but no, like that's so sweet. That's what this card says, is yeah, it's comforting that, you know, they feel supported by you, and they feel like you had, you know, their back, and they really appreciate that. So it says there is so much that we can learn from each other, expanding. Yeah, so they want to continue to learn and grow in this relationship. And these little roses are actually yellow roses, so this is more like, for some of you, this could just be a friendship. Oh yeah, that's right, but this person secretly does want to be more than friends, but at this point in time, it might just be like, these are very like friendship cards. They could just be platonic messages here of, yeah, just being like, you know, a soul family kind of thing, where they don't this isn't necessarily romantic, but it does say, this last card you have says, if you ask me, I will say yes. All right, so yeah, maybe this person's just honestly shy. Like, this is coming out above the whole I want to be more than friends thing. Maybe they just don't want to make the first move. They're like, I think I just heard the word terrified. They're terrified of messing up this current friendship with you. And so they are like, yeah, they're like, no way will I ever admit my feelings for pile 2. They have to be the one to ask me first. And then they're like, okay, and if pile 2 like asks me like, hey, did you ever have a crush on me or something? I don't know, maybe don't ask that, but you know, something like that, like, hey, do you ever want to go on a date, or ever want to do something else, you know, a little more than friends? Do you ever want to be more than friends? Like, they would say yes to you, pile 2, if you got the courage to ask them out. But at this point in time, they are still not there yet. They're too shy. They are too scared. Yeah, like I said, I heard terrified. They're terrified of messing this up with you. So they're not going to do that anytime soon, unfortunately. If you want them to, though, again, this is not necessarily saying, again, this is a message from them, right? So they're saying like, hey, if you want to ask me out, I would totally say yes. But again, this is just messages directly from them. So this is in a little bit of in a contrast to what was said earlier, which is that, you know, you are actually called to be more independent, right? With this freedom card, right? You're called to actually shift your energy toward yourself, so that they will have to eventually, you know, out with it, right? They will eventually have to be the one to make the move if, you know, you kind of force their hand in a little way. Like, that sounds bad, but you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of, what's the word? Like, what's the phrase? Calling their bluff. Yeah. Like, they're like, because yeah, right now I'm getting that you two are kind of in this like emotional standstill, where it's like you are both kind of like not wanting to make a move toward each other, because again, definitely getting that this is a relationship based on friendship, and neither of you wanting to, quote, ruin the friendship. Another amazing song by Taylor Swift, definitely check that one out. I think that definitely resonates with this too, though. It's like the whole ruin the friendship. She's like, it's better to ask the question than never know the answer, or something like that, right? Again, I'm not that's the gist of the song. I don't even want to sing the song, because like, you can get flagged. Your video can get flagged if you just sing one line from a song now. But yeah, yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, pile 2. How long is reading? This is almost an hour-long reading. I hope these messages are resonating. I hope is anyone still out there? Yeah, I hope you got something from this video today, pile 2. Now, last but certainly not least, we have these cute little Bella Sara cards for you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open these for you. These are actually a trading card game from the 90s. So yeah, you used to be able to use these little codes here on this website. I don't think you can even do that anymore, but If you know a way, then you can. But yeah, see, bellasara.com. These are these cute little, it was like an online thing as well as like a trading card game. But yeah, these are like the physical cards, and then you could like play a game online, and for like, you know, you get little prizes, kind of like Neopets. But anyway, you got these cute little horses. So you actually, that's the same horse as the package. So yeah, maybe you resonate with this cute little pink horse, pile 2, and then this person, this could be representing your person. You know who I'm getting with this is like Wicked. So yeah, some of you might like Wicked. All right. Ooh, this says fairy tale wedding. What? Oh, look at that. Yeah, like Unionicorn. So cute. Okay. So it says fairy tale wedding. Emma and her friends have found herd moon fairies, and it's time to celebrate. The fairy princess Avalon and her fiance Johan decide to get married at once and ask Emma to be the maid of honor. Okay, is this about this card? The whole, if you ask me, I'll say yes? Okay. Interesting. All right. So again, this is, take all of this with a grain of salt. Pile 2, like if you are feeling called to, always listen to your own intuition when it comes to like, you know, making big life decisions, like admitting to your lifelong crush that you love them or whatever. But yeah, this is saying, I don't know, I'm getting like strong vibes of like this person would be interested in taking this relationship to the next level if that's something you want to do. But again, I'm cautioning you, like that's what they want, is for you to make this move. And what I'm getting though is from the universe and the unicorns, are they're saying actually focus on yourself right now so that you know, put the ball in their court, so to speak, right? It's like, it's they're the ones who have to be brave to come toward you, because you've been stuck in sort of this like giver energy. It's their turn to give to you. So that's what I'm getting from these cards. But yeah, anyway, though, it says that there's like a fairy tale wedding in your future, possibly, pile 2. And so it says they've decided to get married at once and ask Emma to be their maid of honor, Colum the best man, and Daru the flower girl. After a beautiful wedding in the the Feywind Castle Gardens, the happy couple ride off together on their steeds. Cute. So that's what this is depicting. How cute. Very, very cute. All right. So yeah, divine union is what I'm getting from that card. Definitely, like, so that could be in your, if you choose for future, as long as you play your cards right, so to speak, right? This little playing card game. If you play your cards right, pile 2, that could be in your future. All right, so what else did you get? You got Moon Spirit, or Moon Sprite, sorry. Moon Sprite. If someone hurts you, tell her how you feel about it. All right, yeah, so this is about open, honest communication. This, again, definitely, if you were on the fence about whether to pick pile 1 or pile 2, this is definitely giving pile 1 energy based on what I was talking about in pile 1. But yeah, and you also have Avalon, okay. And it says, story quote is, neither time nor enchantment can part us again. Oh, okay. So yeah, this is about like you two have like such a strong bond, such a strong connection that like even through separation, you cannot break that bond. Yeah, I'm definitely getting strong twin flames from that. Okay, and then we have Beetle Jab. Oh, interesting name. It says, it's like Beetlejuice, maybe? Beetlejuice. Sometimes tidying up can bring peaceful feelings. Yeah, so again, you did get another card that was like, clean up, you know, clean yourself up first, right? So yeah, focus on yourself. Focus on your own, like, healing journey. Focus on your health and wealth, and yeah. And then that will attract this other person to want to you know, meet you at your level, right? To ascend to your level. Yeah. Give them something to aspire to is what I'm getting, pile 2. Oh my gosh. Your reading is great, pile 2. I'm already over an hour, but I'm like, oh my gosh. I love this for you, this story. Yeah, be the hero in your own story. Okay, that's so perfect. It says, Fiona, be the hero in your own story. I love that. Oh my gosh, this is reminding me of the name Fiona too. It's reminding me of, you know, Shrek and Fiona. Maybe you like that. This is called a legendary horse too. Wow, cool. Such a pretty image. All right, yeah, so again, you're being asked to focus on yourself, your own self-love, give to yourself. Let this person work for you, right? Let this person prove to you that they deserve to come into union with you, right? So you heard what they want. They want you to do all the work, but resist that temptation, pile 2, because what I'm definitely getting from the message from the universe and from the unicorns is that, you know, you need to focus on yourself, your own self-love, your own self-worth, your own abundance and happiness, and pour all that love and energy into yourself. And that will attract this person to want to work for you, like work to prove to you that they deserve to be in your life. Okay. So yeah, that's the final messages pile number 2. Thank you so much for being here, listening to an almost an hour and 5 minute long video. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. I hope you appreciated this reading. If you did, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. It will mean so much to me. Really helps me with that energy exchange, you know, to give back to my channel a little bit, and that will help me out so much with the algorithm, and it just tells me that I'm doing a good job and that, you know, you want more readings like this. And so thank you so much for likes, comments, shares, subscribes, all that amazing stuff. That helps me out so much. Really appreciate you, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care, pile 2. Bye. Hello, beautiful magical creatures. Welcome to your reading, pile 3. If you chose this cute little pewter unicorn that's just standing, just hanging out, this is going to be your reading. And we are asking the universe today, or I should say asking the unicorns, just sort of to give us some general love messages. Now this is a bit of a series on my channel, so if you're interested, I also did a reading that was love messages from the mermaids as well as love messages from the fairies. So if you're interested in that, go check those out on my channel as well. But yeah, today we're just going to be open to whatever messages want to come through for you at this time. And now this is just a reminder, of course, this is true for all of my readings, but if you are wondering, like, if the timing of this reading matters whenever you found it, just know that all of my readings are timeless. So whenever you come across this reading is when you are meant to hear it. So the universe aligned you to see this reading at this time, exactly when you are meant to see it. So just keep that in mind. So this could literally be, if you're listening to this, you know, a year from when I uploaded it, or 5 or 10 years down the line, like whenever you come across this reading is when you're meant to hear it. So another little quick note is that I have these cute little Bella Sara cards. Now these are obviously like a trading card game little thing, but these are actually from like a trading card game in the 90s called Bella Sara. These are actually like perfect for oracle cards. So we're going to open this up at the end of your reading today. But yeah, that's always a fun time. See what comes out of those cards. Excuse me. A bit of a throat chakra. I'm getting a little froggy, so excuse me. So yeah, that could indicate For some of you, there might be something that you're struggling to talk about at this time. Because yeah, I did not feel this way in the other readings, but for some reason, my throat feels like kind of froggy right now. So excuse me if I sound a little funny. But yeah, then we also have today these little cards that are obviously not like really cards, they're like little piece of paper, but they are from a 2020 calendar called Advice from the Unicorns. And I actually got this calendar right as I was like planning on starting my first YouTube video way back in 2020. I decided to start this YouTube channel. Obviously I have not uploaded to it very consistently, but this is besides the point. But yeah, I did start this channel back in 2020, and I happened to like find this like 2020 calendar called Advice from the Unicorns, and I thought it was just so perfect and kismet, because I literally obviously call myself Unionicorn, so I thought that was so perfect. So yeah, but without further ado, let's look at what you got. It says, be honest with you. Okay, yeah, so be honest with yourself. There's something you're needing to take a look at that maybe you've been in denial about. Let's see, and then it also says, today is the perfect day to celebrate how dope you are. Do it. All right, so yeah, celebrate yourself. Seems like pile 2. Sorry, not pile 2, but sorry, pile 2 did have some relevant themes. So if you were on the fence about whether or not you wanted to choose pile 3 or pile 2, you might have some messages in pile 2 for yourself today, pile 3, just saying. But that's only take that if you're called to, like if you're struggling to pick between pile 2 and pile 3, then maybe go check out pile 2 again, because there might be messages in both readings for you today, but only take that if it resonates for you. All right, so yeah, there's something you're not like seeing at this point in time, that the unicorns and your angels, ancestors, spirit guides are trying to guide you to take a closer look at. So let's see what else comes out. It says raindrops. Ooh, take a chance on them. Okay, so this could be about someone that you're thinking about, maybe you've been on the fence about whether or not you want to reach out to this person. By the way, number 39 could be significant. Sorry if the focus is weird today on my camera. Yeah, number 39, the card 39. So maybe you or this person is 39 years old or something like that. You don't have to be, just that could be for somebody out there listening, could be a confirmation for them. Okay, so, but yeah, it's just take a chance on them. So whoever's on your mind right now, this is saying that there's somebody on your mind that you've been, I think, hesitant to reach out to. And this is saying that, you know, maybe it is a good idea to reach out. Now, this next card is actually from a deck called the Rebel deck, and it does cuss, so just fair warning there. But it says, you are giving away your power. Oh, okay. It says, you are a badass, act like it. All right, yeah, so this is calling you to remember your power, remember how cool you are. Yeah, so there's something in this situation where, like, maybe this is about you feeling insecure and not wanting to reach out to this person because you feel like they might reject you or something. This is kind of the vibe I'm getting from that. But let's see what else you got. Okay, so you got the Magic card. Ooh, okay. And it says, make a wish, believe in miracles, and magic surrounds you. Oh, sorry, I'm not even focused on the right spot. Sorry. Yeah, so make a wish, believe in miracles, and magic surrounds you. Ooh, yeah. So this is, again, I'm getting like the strong vibe of like, take a chance, you know, like that song, take a chance on me. Do your very best. Yeah, I don't know the whole song, but yeah, that song. If I remember, I'll link it in or I'll like find the name. I don't even remember the name of this song, honestly. But it goes, take a chance on me. So yeah, yeah, this person, again, I don't know if this message is coming from specifically your person or just the universe saying, yeah, take a chance on them. Make a wish. Like, this seems to be like part of your wish fulfillment, like, but something's stopping you from acting, right? They're saying act like it, like act like Like you are worthy of this. Yeah. So then you also got this dance card. It says, move your body to music, dance with the rhythm of life, manifest your dreams through dance. Again, I'm so sorry I'm not lining it properly for you to see it, but yeah. So I'm just like struggling to read it. That's why I'm like, it's off center, because it's so hard. This font is so hard to read sometimes, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, this card is wanting you to, you know, release like tension. Like I just felt like I had to like go, like I said, I'm really struggling to like get the words out. And I feel like this is, yeah, I'm very much picking up like your energy here, pile 3, of like you seem to be like really scared or like hesitant to say something that you want to say. Like that song, say what you need to say. Sorry, like again, I know my voice sounds so horrible right now because I'm like so froggy. I'm like drinking water and it's not helping. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I feel like I have to keep clearing my throat. That's so weird because it's like, I swear I did not have this issue in the other piles. So that's so weird. Yeah, so I'm getting like, this is coming from you where you're like, you feel like you have a frog in your throat. Like you feel like you can't say what you want to say. You know, say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. All right. So then you got this card called Discernment, and it says, all is not what it seems. Stay true to your knowing and keep your dreams a secret. Oh, so this is encouraging you to keep a secret. Or not say what you want to say. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I'm definitely getting there's this dilemma here where you feel like you have to hold your tongue in some matter. Like maybe you have like this secret crush on somebody, or maybe this is from their perspective. Again, if you pick this pile and you're like, I don't relate to that, I'm not feeling that way. Maybe this is about your person you have on your mind. Maybe that's how they feel toward you. Again, take it how it resonates for you, because this is a general reading. I know I don't know your personal situation, right? But this is just what I'm picking up from the cards here. Interesting. All right, and then what else do you have? You have true love. Oh, cute. This is the romance of a lifetime. Okay, so yeah. And it says be honest with yourself. Oh, be honest with yourself that this is someone you love. This is your true love. Okay, so this is like you're struggling to even admit it to yourself. That's what I'm getting. You're struggling to admit that this person on your mind is someone that you actually love. Oh, pile 3. I just want to give you a big hug through the screen. Aw. Okay, and then you also have this little advice card called Sing. So, okay, so maybe right now, songs, like I'm getting a lot of song lyrics in your reading too, like more than the other piles, more than usual. And I love to quote songs. So maybe you resonate with like being someone who really loves music. Yeah, because it said something about music in this dance card too. So yeah, song and dance. Maybe you're like a performer, or you or your person is. There's just something about like, yeah, like being on stage, or like being a performer, being someone who loves to sing and dance. Maybe that's like one of your favorite hobbies or pastimes or passions in life. Yeah, I'm also getting acting. Like, I don't know, it's nothing in the cards say, but you know, it reminds me of the whole song and dance thing of like, yeah, being up on stage and performing. Interesting. So yeah, but maybe you're somebody who also gets a lot of messages, like that's a good way for you to like almost communicate telepathically with this person on your mind through songs, like listening to song lyrics and, you know, thinking about it as like from their perspective. So that's something that you could do. So pay attention to songs that come up, especially in your recommended. Like if you listen to a few songs, like it just takes a couple songs and then your algorithm starts like recommending new songs because it knows that you're listening to songs. So yeah, maybe pay attention to the songs that are getting recommended to you at this time. Yeah, So then what else do we have in these cards? Hold on, I'm just like, I totally pulled out the cards differently for you than I did the other piles. So I'm just I'm not looking too closely at the cards. I'm just trying to think of what card to show you next here. Okay, let's go with these cards. For some reason, you have one less than I thought you would of these. So, but you know what? You did, I think you are the pile that got one extra card here. So I think it all works out. But yeah, so we have, oh, the 10 of Cups. Beautiful. So this is like happy ever after. Like this is like the end of the movie. By the way, this is from The Last Unicorn, the movie. So yeah, if you ever wanted to see a beautifully, just a gorgeous animation with, again, beautiful songs, definitely check out the movie The Last Unicorn. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, like from my childhood. Like I watched this movie growing up, and yeah, obviously I'm biased because I love unicorns, but as you can tell by my my name, but yeah, I highly recommend this movie just to anybody. I think it's such a classic, beautiful movie if you haven't seen it. But yeah, this is The Last Unicorn tarot, and you had the 10 of Cups, which is a very happy ever after, right? Which is like this magic card, like a wish fulfillment, a happily ever after, a true love. That's beautiful. All right, so then your other card though is Page of Swords. Okay, so let me see if I can come back to that one, because the Page of Swords is about like a conflict here. And I'm getting more, and by the way, I am very much an intuitive reader, so I like to read holistically, like all the cards. I think like I like to read tarot as like, you know, trying to tell one cohesive story, right? So from what I'm getting with this, the Page of Swords here is actually like, there's like, to me, I'm getting like an internal conflict, you know, from you. So yeah, like being scared to say the truth, like to pursue this for some reason. But this is, again, you got act. And I said earlier, I was like, oh yeah, maybe you or your person or both of you are into acting. Because yeah, you got this word act, and they want you to take action. This is about being brave and taking action. But then this one was about keeping a secret. So yeah, definitely I'm getting that internal conflict of being like, because this is technically saying Page of Swords. So it's a little different than the Two of Swords, but you do have two swords here. I don't know if you can see that. The lighting is a little difficult to see. Sorry, I keep forgetting to get like a better light situation in my videos since I moved, but can you see that? There's like two little swords there. Yeah, maybe you can see that now. So it's just reminding me of, it's not the Two of Swords card, but it is reminding me of the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is about being confused or like stuck between two choices and not knowing which way to go. So yeah, I'm definitely getting that. Like, yeah, like an internal conflict with you, pile 3. All right, let's see what else you have here. We have, oh, okay. The End of the Rainbow. The little pot of gold. Like, look at this leprechaun. He's like, I think this is the Hanged Man in this deck. I'm gonna have to double check because this is a new deck for me. But yeah, you've got card 12. I think is Hanged Man energy. And like this like leprechaun is like trying to like go after his gold, but it looks like this, there's like this little pixie stopping him or something. Yeah. And you know, pixies are like known for being like mischievous, right? So maybe this card is about like there's someone in your life who's actually kind of like putting up a blockage or like preventing you from going toward this golden like relationship with this other person on your mind. That's what I'm getting at. So like, yeah, again, and the Hanged Man, I believe this is the Hanged Man card. I'm gonna have to double check that, but the Hanged Man energy is all about seeing things from a new perspective too. So interesting. Okay, let me just to confirm, let me double check that. Now which booklet? I like to look at from the same book. So this is the Tarot at the End of the Rainbow. So let me see what it says for number 12. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, hold on. Number 12. Yep, the Hangman. I was right. So here it is. Oh, can you focus? Okay, yeah, the Hanged Man. It says, a fairy holds a leprechaun by his boot. The Hanged Man reaches precariously out toward a bucket of gold at the end of the rainbow. A bit stereotypical, wouldn't you think? So yeah, the keywords are sacrifice and surrender. Oh yeah, like, right, like surrender. That's what I'm definitely getting about, like, being honest. Surrender to this true love. Surrender to your true feelings. Pile 3. I'm getting, like, be honest with yourself that you have these, like, feelings for this other person and you don't want to admit it, or you're being held back by this thing, like this fairy that's holding you back. From being honest with yourself and this other person about how you feel. So yeah, this is about sacrifice and surrender, surrendering to being honest, and yeah, your honest desires for what you want, for what's ahead. Okay, yeah, so this is a card also, again, about the Hangman is about a new perspective. So allow yourself to have this new perspective when it comes to this relationship. If you are really truly honest about how you feel about this person, that will give you this new perspective that maybe you've been running, right? I'm definitely getting, so it's funny because in the last reading, pile 2 was kind of, maybe you want to go back to pile 2. Maybe you're drawn to pile 2 because you were pulling more on the other person's energy or something, because I'm definitely getting, like, pile 3, you're almost like the opposite of pile 2, because pile 2 is all about, like, they were, like, being a people pleaser and, like, chasing somebody, and they were, like, kind of like the anxious attachment style person in the relationship in their reading. And then I'm definitely getting, like, you're almost like the opposite, pile 3, where you're like this runner, as in, like, you're being, like, kind of almost like the avoidant one in this relationship, because you're, like, avoiding this. You're trying to, like, avoid this situation. Like, you're running from this 10 of Cups. You're running from this true love because you're, like, internally conflicted about it for some reason. And I'm not sure, again, each person's experience is different, right? Each person's specific circumstances are different. They're going to be different because this is a general reading. But I'm definitely getting, like, you are the person who is being called to act. And again, if you want to be, like, I'm definitely getting strong, like, if you wanted to cross watch, that's called cross watching, if, like, if you watch someone else's reading, with the person in mind, and it's like you think that that's their reading kind of thing, right? I'm definitely getting strong, like, if you were drawn to pile 2, if you wanted to, like, listen to pile 2, as if it were from their perspective, as the person on your mind's perspective, because yeah, that would be, like, you'd be the one who's, like, cross-watching to listen to what is happening from their perspective, right, from their end, because again, this is your card about the Hangman getting a new perspective. That might give you a new perspective also here, is to listen to, like, sort of what it's been like for this other person, because yeah, you've definitely been avoiding something. You've been avoiding taking this chance that you're being called to act on this, and you're avoiding it. You're really not wanting to go toward this true love 10 of Cups energy. And I'll be honest with you, pile 3, I don't really understand why you wouldn't want to, but maybe you feel, like, stalked by something. Maybe you feel obligated by something in your life. Again, you had this pixie, right? This mischievous energy in your life holding you back from this, even though it feels like, if you're honest with yourself, this is what you really want. So very interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, you got the Death card. Okay, so Death, by the way, everyone gets scared when they see the Death card in tarot, but the Death is actually all about rebirth. Like, it's all about renewal. So the ending, closing of an old cycle, the beginning of a new cycle, right? So, for example, kind of like closing one chapter in a book to start the new chapter, right? So yeah, like, if you were to be honest with yourself and this other person about how you really feel, again, this is all about be honest with you. Be honest with you about your true love feelings for this person. If you were to do that, you would get the 10 of Cups with this person, because I get a strong sense that this other person feels the same way. And again, if you want to hear more about what's going on with pile, with them, I'm definitely urging you to check out pile 2, because it's a long one. It's over an hour long, but that feels like, it's so interesting. It feels like you two are counterparts. I don't think I've ever had this happen in my reading where I'm like, oh my gosh, pile 2 was like the other person in this, the other side of this relationship, the other side of the coin almost. Yeah, but and oh my gosh, I'm still so froggy. All right, you're like, Unionicorn, it's probably because you've been talking for over an hour since, yeah, the last reading was a long one, so buckle up if you are interested in cross-watching. But it will give you more of a perspective on this situation, because you'll see it from the other person's point of view. But yeah, okay, so I just have so much going through my mind at once. I'm trying to summarize. So the Death card, it's all about rebirth, renewal, right? You will get like a renewal in this relationship if you are brave enough to take this chance and act on these feelings for this other person. But it is going to come down to you having to take that action toward them. See, because of the raindrops, it says take a chance on them. Take a chance. This is definitely urging you, like, if you want this to happen, it's going to have to be you doing it. You have to make the move toward that other person. Because I'm definitely getting like the strong sense again. I'm getting like pile 2 is your person. Pile 3, I'm telling you. Pile 2 is all like, they have to learn the opposite. They have to learn to not act, because for the longest time, they were the one pouring into you, right? They were giving. They were kind of almost over giving to this situation. And, the way I put it in pile 2 was like, the ball's in your court now, pile 3. The ball's in your court is what I'm strongly getting from all your cards here too. So very interesting. Okay. Yes, oh my gosh, you have the Empress. Beautiful. So yeah, this is their energy. They're sitting in this Empress energy. They're waiting for you to make the first move toward them. Okay, and then we have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is about being patient. Let me see. I'm going to look that one up. But then we also, oh my gosh, you can't make this up. You also have the Emperor. Okay, yeah, this is your energy. So you literally got divine counterparts. Oh my gosh. You have both the Empress and the Emperor come out. I cannot believe that. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so you did get it. Okay, so you are the one who got the extra 4th card here too, which is why it's funny, because I was like, you got less of these cards, but you got one extra of these cards, and that's because you got both. You got counterparts. You got the Empress and the Emperor. Wow. Okay, that's amazing. I'm going to put this one here then. So 4 of Pentacles. Let me look that one up actually. I believe this is the Celestial Unicorn Tarot deck. I'm still getting used to this one, so I don't know. Let's see what comes out if I look up the 4 of Pentacles. Ooh, this is a thick book. Oops. Oh my gosh. Just dropped it. Yeah, this is like a nice, thick, chunky book though. It's got like a lot of information. So let's see what comes out if I look up 4 of Pentacles here. Sorry, my cards are all over the place, so it's hard to see all of them at once. But let's see. Just got so many extra cards today. I was really called to just take like so many cards in each reading, which is why the readings are like an hour long. Okay, let's see. So past the major arcana, we're looking for 4 of Pentacles. Here it is, 4 of Pentacles. All right, so it says, keywords are guarding your resources, financial stability and control. Okay, yeah, so you are definitely trying to move away from this energy if you want this, you know, happy 10 of Pentacles with this other person. You're gonna have to learn to get out of this like resource guarding. Like, I don't know if you know, like if you've ever had like a dog and you have to train them not to guard, like resource guard, because they get like really possessive and like controlling, right? They have like these like control issues of like wanting to keep all their like food to themselves, or all of their toys to themselves. Like they get like, you literally have to train this out of a dog, so that they aren't like, you know, so they don't snap at you if you want to take like a toy from them, or you know, like, yeah. Don't try to take food from a dog, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, I definitely, when I was training my dog, I had to train out this like resource guarding thing he was doing. So yeah, okay, so it says, unicorn message: allow us, the earth unicorns, to show you there is no need to fear lack, for lack only exists in the mind. Trust in an abundant universe that loves you dearly. Yes, okay, exactly. So yeah, so this whole resource guarding thing that you're doing, pile 3, is actually telling the universe that you're in this lack mentality, and what you want to do is move toward this abundance mentality. So there's lots of resources here on YouTube or throughout the internet, anywhere. You can look up the difference between lack mentality and abundance mentality, and what you want to try to do is shift into this abundant mentality. Because yeah, when we're in lack mentality, we fear loss, we fear not having enough resources, not having enough finances. And it is coming from a sense of wanting to control the situation, wanting to like exert our control on things, because it's really coming from a place of fear of loss, a fear of not having enough. And so if we can shift our energy toward an abundant mentality, then the universe will, you know, reward us for trusting in the universe and allowing this abundance to come in, right? Just like, again, if we allow our, like, to bring it back to the pet training thing, when I was teaching my puppy to not guard the resources, not to guard the toys, I would do like this like thing where I was like, if you give me the toy, I'll trade you a treat. And so then now my puppy has learned that, you know, sharing is caring, right? We're teaching the puppy how to share their toys so that way we can play. And then they get, you know, this, eventually my puppy learned that like the more that he gives me his toys, the more fun we can have, and the more we can play fetch, and the more we can, you know, enjoy sharing the abundance, sharing the wealth, right? So yeah, so it says here, the card meaning is, the earth unicorns invite you to consider your current supply. Where you are and what you're doing is enough. Nourish what's here and cherish your life as a blessing. Yes, definitely having a abundant mindset also has to do with like having an attitude of gratitude, people say, right? Being grateful for what you have, knowing that what you have is enough, knowing that the universe has your back and that the universe will always provide. So you don't have to fear loss, fear lack. Then your reverse meaning would be to holding on too tightly to what you have. It's just as bad as hustling for more. Both actions vibrate to the energy of lack, something the unicorns don't believe in. Ask the earth unicorns. Yeah, exactly. We don't believe in a lack mentality here. We believe in abundance here on this channel. So ask the unicorns to be with you as you journal the things, the people, and the stories you're clinging to that are blocking you from enjoying and expanding your life. Loosen the grip and know that what is for you will remain with you. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so beautiful. So this is definitely all about wanting to remember to appreciate everything you do have, and that includes this person on your mind, pile 3. Again, I'm definitely getting such strong vibes of like, you are more than welcome to go and check out pile 2, because pile 2 is from the perspective of your person, I would say. And so this is just a reminder to you that if you want to get out of this lack mentality and go toward your person, if you are honest with yourself, this is what you really want, is this 10 of Pentacles with this, sorry, not 10 of Pentacles, but 10 of Cups. I said 10 of Pentacles though, so yeah, which is also about abundance, is about wealth, you know, being very wealthy and having that wealth abundance mindset. But yeah, if you want this 10 of Cups, which is about, you know, having a beautiful, loving, fulfilling relationship, an overflow of love, so to speak. If you're honest with yourself that that's what you actually want with this person, and if you acted accordingly to that, then you and this person, I'm definitely getting like you are strong counterpart vibes. You might even resonate with being like twin flames. You don't have to, but for some of you, I'm definitely getting twin flames with the fact that you got both the Empress and the Emperor. So yeah, I'm getting that if you were to let go of this lack mentality, you would become more in alignment with this this other person on your mind, and you two would mirror each other in a healthier way. Like I was saying last pile, that like, again, I'm definitely getting that for you, pile 3, you were more the like runner versus this other person was more the chaser in the past of your relationship, where you were like kind of trying to avoid, like you were being more avoidant of this relationship because like for whatever reason, maybe it scared you, maybe you weren't ready for it, but whatever is the case, you were kind of running away from this person in the past. And there was a point where, you know, you had to like kind of have your perspective flipped on what this person even meant to you, because especially if they started, you know, if they started kind of reacting to the way you were, pulling away from them, and you know, they, I think, felt almost like there was literally like no other way to interpret your actions of pulling away from them, to be like, okay, well, I guess this person doesn't, you know, want to spend that much time with me, or doesn't care if I'm gone, or like, and that might not be actually true for you, pile 3. Like you might have actually really been upset if this person started to distance themselves from you, as like, but what you need to understand with the perspective that you need to gain from this situation is that they were doing that almost as a reaction to what you had done. So because you were being avoidant of this person, they felt like they had no other choice but to also pull away. And so if you want to come back into this alignment with this other person, who is, I believe, your divine counterpart, then yeah, you need to learn how to be more of a securely attached person, someone who is, excuse me, oh my gosh, I'm really struggling to speak. Sorry. Let me collect my thoughts here for a second. Sorry, pile 3. It is really hard to get these messages out for you. Like, I am definitely getting like you, and again, I feel like I'm repeating myself because I literally said almost all of this, but in like the opposite way for pile 2. But yeah, I feel like you in the past, you have almost been terrified to tell the truth about this, like how you feel for this other person. You've been like so scared to tell them the truth, but the thing is, that's the only thing that's stopping this like divine union with this person. Like if you actually were honest with yourself, you want this with this other person, right? You know that like maybe there was a time where you two were in separation, and like, you know how that made you feel. You did not like being away from this person. And so this is reminding you that, you know, that experience was meant to teach you, this new perspective shift, to be like, you know, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Is what I said in the last reading. Like literally, like it's so funny that I'm like, I'm getting the same messages, but in reverse for you, pile 3. Because yeah, like you're learning that you have to be honest and act on your real feelings and, you know, show that you care so that this person doesn't completely walk out of your life. Because from their perspective, again, I keep touching this card and talking about perspectives, but from their perspective, they didn't think you cared. They didn't know because you weren't showing that you cared. So now you're learning how to act according to how you feel, and act and actually show that you care about this person, because that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting for you to show them that you care. Yeah. Aw, okay. So let's see what else you got. I got this so much for short readings today. Every one of these readings have been long, but they've been important messages. So let's see what else comes out. Yeah, okay, you have Judgment. And this is interesting because the Judgment card did come out in pile 1 as well. But that was more about like the other person being kind of judgmental toward this other person in their life. And for you, I am definitely getting like the original meaning of the Judgment card, which is like divine judgment. Like this is part of your, you know, your life path basically, to learn these things. And this is part of your divine judgment of like how you go about interacting with this other person, and how you decide what to do. Because again, free will is real. So you have every choice and every right to decide to continue to ignore your feelings. Like you have this choice, this Two of Swords choice. You do, and I know this isn't technically Two of Swords, but I'm interpreting it as Two of Swords because it looks like the Two of Swords card. Yeah, you have every right to still choose not to act toward this person, like act on your real true feelings of true love for this person. But just know that that is part of your, you know, it's part of your divine contract to be honest, open and honest with this person. So if you choose not to, just know that you will be under divine judgment for this. And that's not to scare you. I'm just saying that this is part of your life path, part of your life lessons to learn in this lifetime, is how to be honest with yourself and others. You know, because honesty is the best policy, right? That's what I was taught. Anyway, you also have Ace of Swords. Yeah, okay. So you're still in this like kind of standoffish energy with this person. Despite how you really feel, you might find it easier to like just ignore this or cut the person off, or not. You just don't seem like you really want to confront this right now. But yeah, the goal is to go toward this Emperor energy. And if you embody the Emperor energy, then this person will follow suit, and you two will become in alignment, and they will embody the Empress energy if you embody the Emperor energy. So yeah, you have 8 of Cups, which I believe is like it's about like kind of walking away from a situation. So that's where you feel like that's where you're at right now, I feel like. And again, if this doesn't resonate, because this is such a very specific message, maybe choose another pile. But yeah, this is like you are definitely struggling. I can see that, pile 3. You're struggling with being honest with this person, and you feel like it's easier just to walk away from them. Because maybe I really truly feel like you are truly scared of their judgment toward you. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so yeah, not only is this a card about divine judgment, but you feel very judged by this person. And I just want to tell you that honestly, I think that's mostly in your head. I think that I think that's just coming from, again, that lack mentality, that fear, that lack mindset. Because if you were, again, to truly be honest with this person, if you were to act with true honest to tell them how you truly feel, they, I think, would reciprocate that. That's what I'm getting with these cards. They would actually, I'll be honest, pile 3, I think they've been waiting. They've been waiting for you to be honest with them about how you feel. But they're being told, you know, so their life lesson is to not beg for your love, basically. They're, yeah, like I keep saying, like, the ball is in your court. The ball's in your cart. I don't know. Did you put something in your shopping cart? I don't know. That's funny. But no, the ball is in your court is like the phrase of like, it's your turn to show them, because I think you know that for the longest time they were showing you how much you meant to them and how much they loved and admired you, but you were at that time running away from it. And so if you still want a relationship with this person, the universe and the unicorns are saying you have to show that to them. You have to be the one to reach out and tell them that, okay? So then we also have a good stone for you at this time. It's called sodalite. And yeah, look at that. I love when there's synchronicities in the cards. This is what makes reading cards so worth it. I love when there's such good like synchronicities between the cards. This says communication. So yeah, maybe like, and now I feel like my throat's opening up a little better. So like if you're like needing a stone to help you like open your throat chakra a little, you know, get into healthier communication and harmony and trust the universe and this other person, that, you know, honesty is the best policy, as they say, right? So trust that this other person is willing and ready to receive your open and honest communication about this. Yeah, I recommend getting yourself a little piece of sodalite, and that might help you, give you that confidence, right? To let go of this secret that you've been holding about your feelings for this other person. Because yeah, what I'm getting is that, again, this divine, like what I'm strongly getting for you, pile 3, is that like you only get so many chances with this person. And if you are going to continue to pretend like you don't care about them, what choice do they have but to believe that you don't care about them, right? And it would be unfair of you to expect that this person stick around forever for someone they believe doesn't care about them, right? So just keep that in mind. You only get so many chances with this person to be honest and open about your real true feelings for them, okay? So keep that in mind, pile 3. All right, so last but not least, we have messages from your person to you. So this is going to be interesting. This direct messages from the person on your mind. It says, you're the only one I see. Oh, yeah, this person loves you. They really do see this 10 of Cups with you in their mind as well. They want to be in this Emperor energy with you. They, I think, like I keep getting, like, this fear you have around being honest with this person is just in your own mind, because this person, if you were honest with them, I think they would absolutely reciprocate your feelings. I'm strongly getting that for you, pile 3. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. Again, don't shoot the messenger if I'm wrong, but I'm just going based on the cards I'm reading here. Yeah, so it says, you're the best thing that has happened to me. This is, again, messages from them to you. They really, really love and admire you, pile 3. It says, I treated you like an option and I am sorry. All right, so this person may feel like this is how you treated them, but also they might have felt like again, they might have felt like they had no other choice but to like reciprocate the energy you were giving them in this situation. So they're like, okay, well, if you're going to treat me like an option, I guess I'm going to treat you like an option as well, you know, that kind of thing. So because this person is trying to reciprocate they're trying to have a healthy, secure attachment style, and they're trying to reciprocate. But they believe that, you know, truthfully, deep down, again, if they're honest with themselves, they think you're everything to them. You're my everything, it says. So this person really does, like, love and admire you back. Like, it's so sad. It's like it's giving, like, two people who have this huge crush on each other, both too scared to say anything about it. All right, so it says, watching you move on is killing me, but I want what is best for you. Yeah, so in this, so again, according to this other person, whoever you have in your mind, pile 3, this person feels like you've already moved on from them, but they're not chasing you anymore, because they're like, well, if they, you know, I don't want to be desperate. I don't want to come off like somebody who can't get the hint, can't get the memo. Like, they're just trying to base their reaction toward you on the way you've treated them in the past. So they're like, well, you seem like you've already moved on from me. You seem like you don't actually care like I thought you did. Once upon a time, they thought you cared about them. Like, they thought that you had feelings for them, and maybe you did, but again, you maybe kept it a secret, right? So then they got mixed signals. You're giving mixed signals for sure, I'm getting from this pile. So like, maybe they felt like they're just confused. They're like, I thought there was something between us, but I guess not, because they're not acting on it. They're not talking to me about it. They're not saying anything. And so this person feels like they've watched you move on, and so they felt like they had no other choice but to move on as well. All right, it says, you don't know how hard it was to let you go. Yeah, this person, they really were stuck on you for a long time, pile 3. Let's see, it says, I replay our conversations over and over. Yeah, this person has really struggled with letting this relationship go, or feeling like there's like, they keep feeling like there's like another chapter, like how I was saying, like when the death came up, like they feel like you're telling them that the story is done, this you know, the book is closed, you know, there was nothing else. And then they feel like, but they feel this weird draw, like this pull, that's like, they feel like there's more to this story than they know, because again, you've been keeping it a secret. You've been keeping how you feel a secret. So then they feel like they can sense it, because I think this person that you're thinking about is very intuitive. So they can sense how you feel, but they're confusing themselves, because like the way you're acting toward them is totally different than the way that they are gauging the situation. So you're honestly like, I swear, like this person literally feels like they're going crazy. This person feels like they're crazy, because they're like, I thought it was, you know, I thought this relationship was one way. I thought they felt the same toward me, but I guess not, because they're not acting like it. And so they've sort of felt like basically backed into a corner, felt like they had to leave, had to, you know, get over this relationship, right? So it's like hard to let you go, because like they didn't want to let you go. They didn't want to let this relationship go. They just felt like they had no other choice. They felt like there was nothing left for them to do. They feel like they already, you know, were pretty honest to you about how they felt. And maybe, you know, maybe you don't feel that way. Maybe you felt like they needed to be more honest toward you. I don't know. Again, this is a general reading. I'm just basing everything I'm saying off of the cards I see in front of me, right? So I don't know your specific situation, pile 3, but yeah, this is definitely like, I'm getting like star-crossed lovers, where you two, there's definitely huge miscommunications here. Like, you just need to talk to each other. You need to communicate. You need to be honest. You need to tell them the truth. Tell them that you really feel, tell them how you really feel. Yeah. All right. It says, you speak to me through music. Didn't I say that earlier? Oh my gosh, I'm already forgetting, which it was so long ago. Yeah, you got the song and dance cards. So yeah, this literally confirms it. This person hears, like, they listen to music. So again, if you feel like you like, I don't know, you listen to music and you feel like you think about them all the time when, like, there's certain songs that remind you of them, they also feel the same way. Because again, I'm definitely getting divine counterparts here. Like, I'm getting, like, you guys so heavily mirror each other because you got both the Emperor and the Empress. Like, you both mirror each other. So yeah, I'm getting like this, like, connection through music. You speak through me, you speak to me through music. They also, I think they're very intuitive. So they also like listen to music, listening for messages from you. So this is a kind of a way that you two can like telepathically communicate. So definitely utilize this if you want. Like I said earlier, you know, use the algorithm, because if you don't know, like, the algorithm is a perfect tool for having things pop up into your universe. Like, I could get into like the specifics around like the spirituality beliefs behind why this is, like, cosmically speaking, like in this, you know, in 2026, why this is happening. But basically the short, quick answer is that, you know, humanity is accelerating, right? We're getting better and better at communicating. We actually are overall in like the span of humanity. We're getting better at learning how to communicate with each other, about being honest with each other. And we are learning how to, you know, like, we're learning to not have so much of a divide between each other. And that's why, like, you know, the age of Aquarius, definitely look into age of Aquarius, especially if you know, resonate with Aquarius energy. Again, the last reading, we got star. So yeah, if you resonate with Aquarius energy, but we are in the age of Aquarius, right? And Aquarius is all about communication, open dialogue. It's all about like humanitarian efforts, like becoming more one for all for one, that kind of thing. And basically the age of Aquarius is teaching us to be more open with each other. And so, long story short here, the reason why, like, even the internet came about, and you know, social media and all these things, is like, we are learning as a whole in humanity to become better at communicating with each other. And yeah, like, we're all building toward like unity, right? We're all building toward the collective consciousness, becoming more aware of each other, and we're moving toward like this divine love and light, right? So I know that sounds so woo-woo, but welcome to my channel. This is tarot. This is what it's all about, right? Is yeah, love and light. So basically, the reason I brought that up, though, if you're like, well, I've lost the plot, what is she talking about? Is basically like, this is why the algorithm works the way it does, is because even if you ask like YouTube themselves, even YouTube doesn't really know how the algorithm works, right? Same with like AI. Okay, sorry, I just got a notification. I'm running out of storage space, so I gotta wrap this up. But trying to, like, you know, explain like a very difficult concept to like summarize. But basically, the reason why, even like with now today's day and age, the technology we have today, like YouTube algorithms or TikTok algorithms or whatever, social media algorithms, and, you know, AI, like, even if you ask the literal people behind this technology how it works, they don't even fully know how it works. And what I believe is that it's because it is a tool for the divine to communicate with us. And so, long story short, you know, if you want to learn how to tap into the universe's guidance, utilize the algorithms, right? Especially when it comes to music, especially when it comes to listening for messages like these tarot messages, and yeah, especially messages through songs and music. So yeah, that was like a very long-winded explanation. Hopefully you understood what I'm trying to say. Hopefully you picked up what I was putting down. But yeah, let me see. Oh, and this is another, okay, again, sort of I just love synchronicity so much. Okay, this is sort of what I was talking about. So this person on your mind, they say, I look for you everywhere. Yeah, so again, this person that is on your mind, they're also very intuitive. So they know how to do this too. They are using their algorithm to try to, you know, divine messages from you. Because again, because you're the more avoidant person in this relationship, you're not being necessarily honest with this person. So they sort of feel almost, you know, like very much like a one-sided relationship in a lot of ways. So it's like, because you're not communicating with them directly, they feel almost like, you know, they've tried to like let this go. They've tried to, like it says, it was so hard to let you go. But they still catch themselves looking for you everywhere. They're listening for your messages through their music. They are wanting to hear from you, pile 3. So again, this like fear you have about communicating with this person, it really is so one-sided, because this person, all they really want is to hear from you. They want you to tell them the truth. They want more open, honest communication between you two. So yeah, and they want you to learn how to be less fearful of that open, honest communication between you two. All right, I'm so sorry if I keep hitting the camera. Okay, last but not least, let's look at these last few cards. You also have letting go. Yeah, see, they feel like they have to let you go because the way that you've been acting toward this person, they feel like so confused about it, and they're just like, well, I guess they give me no real choice but to let them go. So it says, right now, the most loving thing you can do is let me go. Yeah, so they're real confused about this situation right now. They say, I think we have a pretty unique connection. Yeah, so there's still, even though they feel like they don't have almost like no choice but to let this relationship go, or like to be more okay and secure with it not being, you know, this divine counterpart relationship they were hoping for, this Empress-Emperor relationship, they know that deep down, they still know that this relationship has been like one of the most unique and also one of the most life-changing for them relationships they've ever had. So, yeah, and then it says, last card, it says, I think we could have a lot of fun together, but I don't see it progressing into something deeper, casual. So yeah, this is how they feel that you want this casual relationship between you two. And maybe that's true. Maybe that is all you want from this person on your mind, pile 3. But I don't know. I get the sense that if you were being honest with yourself, that isn't true, that you would want something more than just casual. It's like that Chapel Roan song. Have you heard? It's called Casual. She's like, oh, we casual now. So yeah, okay. Well, it's been a long hour reading, pile 3. So last but certainly not least, we're gonna open up these little Bella Sara cards together. This little trading card game, playing cards. These are, yeah, TCG playing card game. Trading card game, I think TCG stands for trading card game. Yeah, so these are from, these cards are from like the 90s, and they're really cute. I used to be able to enter all these little codes on bellasara.com for like, because it was like a playing card, you know, you get the cards obviously from these little packs, but then you also had like a whole online thing. I unfortunately don't think it's around anymore, so, but if it is, you know, feel free to use that code. I just don't think we can use it anymore. But, ooh, look at this. Okay, so you got a black horse and a white horse. So it's almost like yin yang energy here. Yeah, again, very much, again, giving divine connection, counterpart energy here. All right, then you have this little card. Oh, how cute. It's called Flipper. So you've got like a little mermaid unicorn, adorable. It says, I will embrace you with extra energy and magic. Then you don't have to be afraid. Oh yeah, again, afraid. So again, it's about conquering that fear, to be honest with this person on your mind. So this is another card called Gherkin. Is that there? It's the name of the horses, these little, I think it's like the pickle, a gherkin. There will always be more ways to see the world. Pretty. Then you also have the pretty pink horse. Actually, again, if you're drawn into pile 2 to crosswatch, your pile 2 got this as like them. But yeah, it's like Maypop. Feel the great joy that comes from caring for others. Okay, yeah. So again, this person wants you to show you care. Yeah, because again, I'm definitely getting like that's representing your person on your mind here. Then we have the card Moat, and this says, in your imaginative mind, anything is possible. Right there, in your imaginative mind, anything is possible. Yeah, so like be open to the possibilities of this relationship. If it's something you actually want, don't discredit it before it started, right? Like don't end it before it's even begun, kind of. Okay, and then you have last card here. This is so pretty. It says, Moon Fairy found. Just when Emma and her friends enter Feywind Castle's throne room, the 7 moons line up perfectly. It's time for the summoning spell. Oh, this is like about being in alignment, like the the planets align ever so nicely. Do you know what that's from? It's from Hercules. Hercules. So it's time for the summoning spell. Heart racing, Emma reads the spell she wrote to call her Moon Fairy back home. Shouts and neighs of joy fill the great hall as the horses return, and Emma returns the moonstone to its owner, Moon Fairy herself. Yeah, so this is about like calling in your soulmate is what I'm getting from this card. Like, you know, being strong, even if your heart's racing, like being honest, calling in your person, and yeah, and then they return home. That's because, yeah, this person, I'm definitely getting this person on your mind. They view you as like their home, you know? So that's so beautiful. All right, pile 3, that is going to do it for your reading. This is an hour and 5-minute long reading, which just so happened to be pile 2's length of their reading too, just saying. So yeah, again, I know I keep saying it, but if you want to cross watch for how your pile 2 person is feeling, maybe that'll give you some new perspective and some more confidence in this situation if you want to go ahead and, you know, watch pile 2. But again, you don't have to, because I know it's a long one, just like this reading was long. But yeah, hopefully you like this reading. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all the likes, comments, shares, subscribes. All that good stuff will really help me out with the YouTube algorithm. It tells YouTube that you want to see more readings like this, as well as, you know, just letting me know I did a good job on your reading today. So yeah, thank you so much for being here though. I hope you got some good messages from this reading today, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care, pile 3. Bye.